listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. You stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's something, don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumping where the dang late, punch a train. Post game, Big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the refs just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostag. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever.
All right. Shout out to the fam for all things Pelicans. We up in this thing. PPR back in effect. Big Q, DC, Lex will join us momentarily. She's having some sound issues she's trying to work out. Shout out to the fam. Much love to you guys for being in the stream, man. We're going to talk some Pels tonight, man. A couple hours on the Pels, man. Listen, DC, we are at our media day, man, today. Pelicans had the media day, man. All of the guys, y'all seen them all. Jordan Poole, Kevon Looney. We seen Queen. We seen Zion, a slimmer, trimmer Zion. A lot of people were impressed. Herb, DeJounte, everybody. DC will have a handful of them. We'll kind of play over the more impressive ones, to say the least. We'll go over with and talk about and recap this media day. So DC, what's happening, brother? How you doing tonight?
I'm awesome, man. In terms of Pelicans, you can't do anything but help to feel good. I mean, everything lines up from how they were talking. I mean, you can't be, I guess, down today. You go out on media day and you basically just want to not say anything stupid, and they executed that. I mean, yeah, dribble the basketball, so it's like, how high on can you really be from all these nice words? But everybody nailed it. You know, everybody said all the right stuff.
Yeah, well, they did, man. And I think one of the biggest things for the Pelicans is Zion Williamson, man, in terms of his role and what he'll do this year for the Pelicans. It was a lot of stuff that was being said. It was good to see Zion out there in a slimmer, trimmer, serious version of Zion. He even made the comment about, he heard it all, stay over there. That type of thing. Yeah, indeed. So, which means he mentioned Trey Murphy. Those guys got a list, DC, according to them. Did you hear that move? They're supposed to have a list, and he's telling them to stay over there. What you think about that one, bro?
I thought it was very interesting. Trey had he said a photo album on his phone where he's screenshotting and paying attention to everything. Herb said, I don't give a shit. Isaiah said, I just want all y'all funky asses to stay over there.
Yeah.
It's a different approach from everybody, man. It was interesting.
It is, because Zion gets him more. He gets him more aggressively than anybody, man, because obviously who he is. And it's really time to put up a shut up. Matter of fact, let's go to Wendy's, man, and see what Wendy's saying, DC. Listen to this, man. This is what Wendy Windhurst had to say. about Zion
Well,
and the
Wendy,
Pelicans.
Wendy lost a little weight
Y'all
too.
do realize in this world today, we all just at some point just need to feel love, right? That's what we need, some type of love at some point of our lives. This is where we're at right now. I feel like with the
What?
reset in the Pelicans organization for us getting Joe Dumars, having Troy Weaver, the reset with Zion Williamson off the floor, right? You have the great Bill Duffy who's in this corner, his agent. He's under the right guidance now. You could tell he's in the right mental space, and that's going to carry over. And in that feeling love, you have tough love, right? Accountability. People that's going to tell you what you need to hear and not what you want to hear. I played with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I played with Troy Weaver when he was, the assistant general manager right under Sam Presti, and we had tough conversations, right? I wasn't the perfect athlete off the floor. I had my problems. I had my issues, things that I'd done, and Troy Weaver would pull me into his office and address those problems like man to man, heart to heart, to show that, hey, big fella, I care about you, and that's what Zion Williamson need. He's been pounded on enough. Like, far as even myself, I didn't criticize him. He's been fat shamed. He's been every single thing in the world. But now he's in the space that he looks happy. He's smiling. He's in shape. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do on that floor, because I think he's going to go out there and do a great job this season and be healthy and be that leader that they want him to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, DC. Thoughts on Perk?
Perk didn't sound like he was on no perks. He making sense, but it's all common sense, man. And what that was, and it just made me think of Zion, man. Stay over there, don't try to get on this side now. Perk been switched up on us, man. He went on that with that Spaces and told the people he was gonna donate money and all that. If this happened, yeah, man, he ain't never did that shit. So
Yeah, donate money, man.
Right.
Stay over there, yeah, talking all that shit. He gonna flip on him the moment shit look bad. But his flip flam. He go Wendy, bro.
He looks good, though, and he's saying all the right things. What's your reaction hearing about this commitment that he has, talking with his trainer in this offseason?
I appreciate everything that he said, but, actions have to carry over words at this point. The reality is this. 99% of NBA players, forget about 99% of all basketball players, 99% of NBA players, teams would have moved on from over this last 6 years. Because Zion Williamson is so immensely talented, the Pelicans stick with him as their hopeful franchise player. But what is being left unsaid, but is pretty clear with the actions of everybody, this is probably it. If he wants it to work in New Orleans, it's got to be now. It's got to show up in this season. And the thing about it is, defining success for the Pelicans is tough. They've got 4 different players, Malika, coming off surgery. This seems like it's a thing that always happens to them. It's happening again. They have 4 guys, including their lottery pick, Derek Queen. Yeah. They need Zion Williamson to do it now. And I'll tell you what. He's got almost $90 million over the next 2 seasons that are non-guaranteed.
That's right.
The Pelicans could cut him. In the apron era, that's something that they could do. And he would get another job, but he wouldn't make $90 million and he wouldn't be the franchise player. He's got a lot to play for this year.
All right, DC, that's Wendy, man. Wendy, well, let's hear thoughts on Wendy, man. Wendy was talking some stuff there.
Spoken like a true non-basketball player, 99.9% of teams would have passed up. That's bullshit. If that's the case, the Clippers and everybody else would have never wanted to get Kawhi, right? You see how all that's going. And Kawhi could get cut. They still got teams going to be lining up to take a swing at him. Is the thing is, because when you got somebody who got the type of talent that a Zion got, until he just physically can't do it, somebody's always going to be willing to take a chance. And fortunately for us, he's still here, and it looks like he's gotten everything together. So I can't be too, I guess, up in arms about what Wendy's saying. Like, everybody's going to be a little apprehensive, as you should. Like, how many times have we gotten here and Zion is in the best shape of his life? Zion has turned the corner, this shit. It's been like 3 straight years we've been saying that. I truly think this year it is happening, but shit, I thought it was happening last year.
Well, I mean, to be quite candid with you, DC, it was a half and half deal in my case. This organization didn't have any the true leadership. They was playing soft with him and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just glad that Joe Dumars is kind of taking this hardcore stance, man. And Zion seems to approve, man, in his interview. So he made mention of it about agreeing about the toughness and all that kind of stuff. So by the way, let's jump right to Zion and hear his thoughts, bro. Here we go.
I thought we was gonna hit Willie.
How you feeling going into the season? What kind of
What? Willie Green.
Feeling really good going into
What are you talking about, man?
the focus in this past summer was, build a relationship with Joe, Troy, and just stay locked in on the game. Watch a lot of film, and I've been working with Teaspoon a lot this past summer.
And Joe's talked a lot about wanting to spend time with you, getting to know you, kind of building that relationship. What's that been like, just kind of getting to know him and see what his vision is?
I like Joe. What you see is what you get. He's going to hold me accountable. And, as he holds me accountable, he's going to give me a lot of responsibilities as well, which I'm excited for and I look forward to. And, I know he's going to hold me to a really high standard. And if I slip up or anything, I know he's going to be right there to make sure I'm get right back on path.
How much you kind of embrace that responsibility, like get a chance to be accountable and all that?
I love it. I can't even lie to you. I love it. Like I said, me, Joe, Troy, we sat down and, we had some man-to-man conversations. They embraced me. And I just told them, no, I'm not going to let y'all down. If they believe in me that much, it helped a lot. It helped a lot that they really believed in me. And like I said, man-to-man conversations, they're going to hold me accountable. But with that accountability, they're giving me a lot of responsibilities. And I'm here for it.
I know you're like a student of the game, a historian of the game, I guess. How much does it help just knowing Joe Dumars and his resume?
I've had some moments where I'd be sitting with him and I'm like, man, this is Joe Dumars. Like, this dude's an NBA champion, finals MVP and stuff like that. I'm like, this dude was a part of the Bad Boys. And I have to lock back in the conversation like, okay, let me see what he's saying. But it's dope because I know he sees the game in a way in how I was trained in the game. Like, how I was trained was kind of their era of basketball, so I know we kind of see the game in similar ways a lot.
So, Joe said that he talked to you about the difference between talent and greatness. What does that mean to you?
Talent is more of a natural thing. Like, you can look at somebody and go, okay, they're really talented. Greatness is every day. Greatness is when you don't want to do it, when you want to do it. If you're facing crazy adversity, good, bad, no matter what's going on, greatness, you do it every day. You show up every day and you make it happen every day.
Zion, there's been a lot of changes in the organization since you got here, including head coach the first few years. This is your 5th year now working with Willie. How big is that continuity and that familiarity with your head coach?
It helps. It definitely helps a lot. 5 years is a long time. Me and Coach Green, we've had a lot of great conversations. Me and him have definitely locked in on and off the court. And, he can talk to me. He can talk to me. I can talk to him. We have that relationship to where, if he sees something and maybe I see something else, that I can be vocal on it and, vice versa.
You mentioned them giving you a lot of responsibilities, and that's something you want. What do you kind of envision those responsibilities being?
Whatever they needed to be. Whatever the team needed to be. Whatever my team needs, that's what I'll do.
You mentioned the importance of them believing in you. Could you reflect a little bit on what it is about the last 6 years that made you wonder or need to hear that they believed in you?
The past is going to stay in the past, and I'm only looking forward to the future. That's all I have to say on that.
You've played with some veterans and some really great players. I mean, Brandon Ingram's not here anymore. CJ was obviously, call it an adult in the room or super veteran, Mr. President, whatever, a guy who could really.
Don't gas that man.
You know what I'm saying? With those guys not here, and you have these 2 new rookies and guys like Trey who are obviously coming along. Do you feel any pressure to be more of that vocal leader, to rally the troops when you guys are down, to not just do it with your ball, with your play, but also on the sideline?
Not at all. I don't feel any pressure, to take on that role. And I have to thank the guys you named. Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, Larry Nance, and just other vets that I had as I've been on my NBA journey, and and especially CJ. I got to give CJ a big shout on that. You know, CJ really put me on game to a lot of things. You know, watching how he carried himself, how he moved, when he spoke, and stuff like that. He really put me on game to a lot of things. So I feel like there's going to be no pressure on making that transition.
Y'all have added some veterans this summer, like Poole, like Looney, who have championship experience. Like, how much do you feel like adding some of that veteran presence can help this team this year?
It helps a lot. I mean, those dudes won a championship. That's what we all strive for. So they not only won the championship, but they went through the journey, they went through the playoffs, they felt the energy, and they lived it. So that type of experience, you just can't get anywhere.
Trey mentioned that a lot of rookies coming in, they're kind of quiet, they're kind of feeling things out before they are vocal, but he mentioned that with the two lottery picks, they aren't.
Oh, yeah, I'm about to say, you ain't talking about our rookies.
What's been your impression of them, you know, either on or off the court so far?
Man, I like those dudes, man. They each got their own personality, and they're not quiet. They're vocal, but they're not an arrogant vocal. They want to learn, they want to work, and I can't wait for the world to really, you know, get introduced to them, like as a Pelican.
You mentioned the two guys that had played in Golden State that won championships, as far as their experience and maybe some of the intangibles. But on the court, what do you look forward to about playing with, you know, Jordan Poole and Kevon Looney?
I'll start with Loon. You know, Iron Man kind of guy. You know, how he gets rebounds is not just luck or something. Like you can tell he strategically plans everything out defensively and offensively, and he's one of those guys that I'm definitely going to look to a lot whenever I'm looking for those small things to get the edge over somebody, especially with footwork. I think Poole kind of speaks for himself. Like, I think our chemistry, especially in transition and wanting to play fast, I think we're going to have like a lot of exciting moments, and that's not even including Trey Murphy in that.
There's not a lot of flattering talk by experts, by people that watch how this team's been built by Joe and Troy over the summer. And for instance, Trey said that he's keeping the whole photo album dedicated to all the bad comments on his phone. So how are you viewing all that's being said about this team? How do you feel about the composition of this team?
I love the composition of this team. There was a time where I felt like Trey, where I kept tabs on it, kept notes on it. But no, that's in the past for me. How I feel on it now? Whatever you said at that certain time, when the time comes when we are in a certain position, you just got to stay over there. There's no coming over here. Don't want validation. You don't even have to waste your time and say, oh, them guys really did it. I don't care. You just got to stay over there.
That's a bad boy mentality.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what we're talking about here.
It can be or not. Don't really care.
I don't care.
You just got to stay over there.
All right, DC, let's dig into that. That's the portion of Zion's interview, man. Let's go, bro.
That's the part of the interview I remember that stood out to me, and that's to me gonna be the spirit and the embodiment of the team. Like I like it because they all, in their unique ways, when listening to their interviews, kind of have that same energy, and that tells me that, you know, the chemistry probably is pretty good between everybody. They've actually been playing together, and they have an expectation of themselves to actually go out there and perform. Like, the confidence is what I love. And it's really looking like we might finally have a team that got some grit and they can unify for a common goal and actually have everything going on right in-house amongst them, to whatever everybody else saying and what they really don't care, because they gonna be in the trenches with each other, putting in the work and making it happen, man. So I want to see what it look like.
Look at his face, DC, after he said it.
You like you ready to fight? Look, hey Lex. You think we finally got an edge now? We got an edge now?
Look at his face.
I see violence.
Some chance
there you go.
This season, Lex.
You know, violence is my word. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. Right. But yeah, edges too. That's part of it. But
James Borrego's still in the building, Lex.
That's what's been needed, though. That's what's been needed this whole time. You know, shoot, you know, getting away from family and good human beings and
oh, the hell with that stuff.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? To winning, competing, every single night, compete, going hard every single night to give the Pelicans a chance to win. Because really, I really like that quote that Joe had, talking about, hey, do you have a number as far as how many wins the team will have this year? Really, it's not even about that. If you're focused on competing, going hard, and trying to win every single night, the wins are going to come. I felt that, man. That's real, because that's been a huge problem for this team. Times where they look like they've been going through the motions. So now that we're changing that, you can see that shift, and just the mentality is approaching the game. Look, y'all got to go out there all 82 games and try to win. Like, that's what it's going to take in order for the Pelicans to get over this hump as far as really doing something great. That's what it takes. Getting away from all the slander from media. You have to do something. You have to make a drastic change. And once that drastic change takes place, that changes the tune in all the culture and stuff. But these guys got to go out there and they got to play. And they got to represent the city of New Orleans, the state of Louisiana, show the resiliency, show the fight, violence more so than anything. That's what y'all got to do, and stop being punks out there. So, I like. There's only one person who don't fit, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I haven't changed my tune on that.
Hey Q, you gotta roll that back, man. That's the thumbnail right there. Where you had Paul Zion and he had that face.
Yeah. Hey, you gonna screenshot that?
Why does he look?
He look like.
Why does he look like an old man? I look like an old man. You pissed off an old man straight out the ballroom. Man, who you talking to? That's what that face right there is, man. He look kind of pissed off at that. He definitely pissed off.
Young man, you got me jacked up.
Yeah, see, I froze it right at the right moment, man. You can see me in that.
Well, you got the right one.
But that's what I was saying too, man. It's like, man, a lot of these guys, they be listening. Like, I'm telling you, you listen. Guys, Trey Murphy said it. A lot of it you heard for years. Guys say, "Oh, I mean, we don't pay attention to none of that stuff. You just play it, this type of stuff." Though, I said these guys be lying. If you're an ultimate competitor, you're always looking for something to use as fuel to fire, fuel to burn. And Michael Jordan, I ain't equating Michael Jordan. His process was that Jordan used to come up with stuff to make him. He was already competitive, but
yeah, he took it personally.
Kobe did the same thing.
Right, because he remembered Jordan stuff. So it was a lot of that going on, man. That they looked for extra motivation to compete against the opponents, and Zion, them and these guys, they have to take it personal, especially this year. Zion's the team is in his hands.
I think Zion was lying in the interview.
You on what, DC? Before we jump,
he said, I used to read a lot of that stuff as if he's not reading that no more. I think he still do, because he seems like the player that can, like, similar to Jordan, like you can take the negativity and turn that into, like great performances and go out and use that as fuel on the court. So I know Zion still because he feed off of that.
Yeah, you could
he
tell. He
thrives in those type of environments, man. Like if you go on the road and Zion's healthy and the crowd ain't feeling him, or they be willing to boom, I guarantee he'll ball out. He just that type of player. So
yeah, I agree, man. I think this face right here, I'm definitely gonna clip that.
Yeah,
and put it up here. I'm gonna clip this piece right here, because right after he said what he said, this is the face that he gave the reporter. As you can tell, this is pissed off face. Let's move to
the. At least 32.
He look old on this one, bro. With that like
goatee, man.
Man made 25. DC, what you talking about, bro?
It's the goatee, man. I'm telling you, he got the old school.
I don't know about all that.
He got the Jordan hoop earring in his ear. Ain't that the Jordan goatee?
I don't know. Those you
Got the
do it.
Zion flat top now, you know.
DC, you linking it all together, brother. All right, let's go to the next one, man, because we got to keep it flowing. The next big guy that came down, not big guy, but big name to help Zion is this gentleman here, Jordan Poole, aka the Poole Party. Let's see what he had to say about being a Pelican. Here we go.
It was around draft day. I just got a call from my agent. I had a little bit of a feeling that moves were going to be made in the summertime. I just felt like there were a lot of teams making trades. I think a lot of teams gearing up for the next couple of seasons. But I got a call in the summertime. Told me I was going to New Orleans. Talked to Troy Weaver. Talked to Joe Dumars. Not too long after, and just kind of chopped it up. I was with Trey in DC a little bit, so very familiar. Who did? Trey? Yeah. About what? It's cool. I've known Trey for a little bit. We had a couple mutual friends, so I just kind of ran into him, hung out a little bit the last few years in the summertime. But you match up with these guys, you see them on the scouting report, and you know how skilled and how talented they are. And hanging out a little bit in the summer, off-season, summer league, just trying to, gain chemistry, understand the people in the locker room. So we had a really good group of guys, and it's been fun knowing everybody.
A lot of people got to know you as a young guy on that championship Warriors team, and you got to step into a different role with the Wizards. How did that experience kind of change you, having to be more of a leader, more of a young guy with the Wizards?
Yeah, it was dope. It was a cool experience because there were things that I learned that I wouldn't say that I would have been able to learn in my first 4 years, which is just really cool to incorporate just into your career. Now I'm able to incorporate what it feels like to be on the tougher end of it when it comes to winning and losing, how to experience that, to go through the highs, the lows of a season, especially playing with a lot of younger guys, a lot of younger rookies. And obviously my first 4 years playing with a lot of vets, a lot of guys who are experienced, played at the highest level. So incorporating all that knowledge and coming over to a team where we want to win, we want to be competitive, we want to make the playoffs. Same thing all the way through the locker room with the coaching staff and the front office. So it'll be good to kind of incorporate that. Got some veteran guys who are coming to help us, but I think we're excited. A lot of fire in the locker room, and just kind of can't wait to get forward to starting the season. I mean, a bunch. Obviously, my offensive skill set, being able to create for my teammates, being able to score the ball, being able to play make, make life on the court easier for my teammates. Bringing a winner's mentality. I've won my entire life. Obviously, the last 2 years were more of a learning curve experience, but playing at the highest level is some things that you don't get to learn very often. Playing with some Hall of Fame guys, you take a lot in. I ask a lot of questions, so being locked in, being focused, how to be a professional. It's not only myself who also knows these things, but there are other guys in the locker room that we're bringing over because we have such a young team too, to kind of incorporate that, kind of set the standards in the locker room. We want to be a winning environment, winning culture. So that starts with, everyday work and then the small things, the details, the recovery, the getting the extra shots to film. Those are things that make you really good in this league, and it becomes a habit, and it's not just like a, pick and choose type of thing.
What are the early impressions of just the city of New Orleans?
I don't leave the house much. It's hot. It's definitely hot outside. But it's cool. It's cool. My mom was out here for a little bit. She did a lot more exploring than I did. And I think something that stood out to me was just how welcoming the people are. So I played in California and I played in DC. And both of those places are where people come and they move to these areas, to these cities. So you're not getting the actual locals, which is different in New Orleans. The people who are here are from New Orleans, which is dope because they want you to experience the good or the better parts of the city or the best restaurants or they want to have positive outlook and positive outcome. So it's been dope. It's been dope, but it's definitely hot, for sure. No, you good.
Everybody's been talking about the work ethic you were working out this morning just before coming here. What was your daily regimen kind of look like in terms of workouts? How many times you work out a day with all that?
Yeah, I can't give y'all the goods too early. I can't give it all away, but try to just get in the gym as much as possible. Obviously, when the season picks up, it's a long season. You got to tailor it to the minutes that you play or how the body feels or if you got back-to-backs. But there's always an opportunity to get better, whether that's on the court, whether it's in the weight room, whether it's watching film, whether it's walking through plays with a coach. So it's just kind of the way I've always been. I love the game. I've been obsessed with the game. And when you play at the highest level, it becomes a game of inches. And then in those inches are the details. So those are things that you need to focus on. And it's not just a 1 or 2 or 3 week thing. This is an all season thing. This is a career thing. So, over the course of time, when you put in so much work, results will start to show.
I was working like with Zion.
Working with Zion? Yeah, we worked a little bit. I mean, it was still off season. Team gets together. We'll be in training camp, starting tomorrow. So I think a lot of guys will be more in tune, locking in, doing a lot more, group work. If that's the case, still coming off summer, you let a lot of guys do their own thing, focus on what they feel like they need to get better at for the season. But as the season starts, I think we'll be doing a lot more, spending time together, working through some things, seeing how we like to play, how I like to play. But that's also along with everybody else on the team. Against Zion? Yeah. I mean, I've been going against him for 6 years. We were in the same draft class, so you just see what it's like being on the other side of the scouting report. Obviously, you need so much. He creates so much gravity. You need to bring a double. But I think something that has been new that I've been able to experience with him is he's such a good passer and he gets off the ball and he knows how to play the right way. So being able to put some spacing around him, allow him to operate, allow him to work, clear out that paint a little bit. But also knowing that he has shooters and guys who can create plays for him on the opposite side of him or on the perimeter, it'll be cool.
All right, DC Lex, thoughts on Poole, man, and will it be a NOLA Poole party? Jordan Poole, Zion Williamson, Trey Murphy. What do you think, bro?
I think he's been awesome, man. More so than what I heard from his interview was just all the talk about him being the first person in the building and damn near the last person to leave. You know what I'm saying? You already know Jordan Poole comes from championship DNA, as you're gonna hear Trey talk about later. But the fact that he is and let me quote Joe Dumars, obsessed with basketball, right? And Joe said you need some guys like that if you want to win a championship. He's absolutely correct. You usually want that to be your best player, but you've seen teams where maybe the best player wasn't, but another player was. You know what I'm saying? That is at least a top 3 player. I don't see how you do it without that. But you got him, you got Herb, and also Jeremiah Fears. And I don't know how much of him is rubbing off on a rookie, but I'm hearing the same thing about Fears. Joe in his interview said he had to stop him from going to the facility, man, because he needed to get some rest. And I think Jordan Poole possibly has a little bit of that because that's his rookie that he's paired up with, man. And hearing him talk, this is my first time listening to Jordan Poole, speak for this long. And he sounds like a guy with a good head on his shoulders. And he's all about winning, man, and just doing the right stuff. That's how it sounds. This is my first impression of him. As the season goes on, things can get better or change. We had some similar sentiments about CJ when he first got here. Not to compare Jordan Poole to CJ or say it's going to be like that because a lot of what happened with CJ was good. But I'm very intrigued to see what this looks like with him, Trey, and Zion, man. And they've already been scrimmaging together, playing together. So I think a lot of things that they're touching on, talking about, and sharing is, based on that while they're actually building a bond and the chemistry. And Jordan Poole, to me, is our wild card. He's more of like an X factor because he's a guy that we might not need Jordan Poole to, score 25, 30 points a game.
Right. Yeah. Lex, what do you think about Jordan's fit with Zion? I mean, the gravity thing, it seems to be a great fit with him. This is a 20-point scorer with championship experience. What's the fit in your thought process with Jordan Poole and Zion? That's what a lot of people are looking at here.
I think Jordan, he'll be able to throw lobs correctly to Zion in transition. That's for one, because it seems like since Lonzo Ball, it seems like that's been something that's been very difficult for this team. But I think it'll be nice. I mean, Poole, he he can really slash into the paint. And I think if they have that pick and roll, I think it'll be mean. But that's even if it's in the game plan. You know what I mean.
Well, Lex, listen, I'm going to play Joe Dumars in a few minutes.
Okay.
And Joe Dumars was, he had a third. I can't play all of his stuff. But Joe was making a lot of points. DC having some issues. He'll drop back in. But Joe Dumars was talking a lot of good stuff about that. How him and
Yeah.
Willie Green are always, they spend every day together talking about the game plan, talking about what needs to happen. How and Joe basically telling Willie Green which players he know watching them practice. He says, "See that play? This player be good for that player." So he basically remote controlling them, and telling them,
Yeah.
"Hey man, this is
Okay. 'Cause that was gonna be my next question. What does
all right
that tell you?
that he
Listen,
can't coach."
I just want to share this, and it's just being real, not, bringing anything down, because obviously the season's about to start. But I just got to say it. Hearing how Joe is talking, listening to the players, Willie Green does not fit what they're trying to do. And he holds a very important role right now on this team. And it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. They're talking about, just, playing with attitude, actually competing, not just, going through the motions. Or no, dude, we trying to win. We trying to get it. So when I'm listening to that, that's like, it's a clash. It's a clash to this guy right here. But everything that's being said screams out that Willie does not belong. He just doesn't.
Yeah, that's true, Lex. I mean, it's we know he has the blessing of the owner, and that's the only reason why he's here. I really do think that if Joe Dumars, and I think a lot of the faithful
Yeah.
agree that if Joe had his way, Willie would be gone. I mean,
Yeah,
he
would.
lost the
He would
team
be.
and a lot. He would be gone, and he would have brought in his own guy to coach the Pelicans. We know that Willie is protected by Gail, but that's up to a certain point. But what I do see, insofar as the Pelicans, that I see a lot of stuff that they're like with Joe. Joe is keeping. There is no thing where you see a general manager or a vice president or whatever, and he disappears here and he comes through with fanciful rhetoric. This guy is totally different than anything or anyone we've had from this side of it. Like Zion Williamson, we just played Zion's interview, and Zion was basically telling people straight off the bat that, hey man, Joe Dumars was talking to him, and he was like listening to him, and he's saying, "This is Joe Dumars. This is this is a top 50 NBA player, Hall of Famer, multiple championships, a Finals MVP." He was saying that while that holds a lot of weight, because Joe words hold weight in the way Joe talks to these players. He talks like a man that's been there, because he's obviously been there, and he has weight. And another caveat too that I've often talked about with Joe Dumars is his connection to the league office. Joe Dumars went up there with the league office and was with the rule department and enforcement for 10 years. I think it was like 10 years or so. That is incredibly important, because what have we been having problems with the officials in terms of the rules? Joe Dumars actually has a link to the NBA. So it is really a dynamic thing that we have going here. And Lex, Joe Dumars is hands on. Like
Yeah.
he's not gonna let Willie Green go and say, okay, this, that, and third. He's gonna keep a very tight leash on Willie
Yeah.
Green.
But that's the thing, though. It's like that just goes to show that you don't have it to really, really just using that energy, just all that energy and trying to train him. It's like, dude, I could easily just go and get someone, you know what I'm saying, who does know what they're doing, and the philosophies are in sync. But that's a lot of energy to be expending on someone who just does not have it. He doesn't have it. Like, and it's just like that sometimes, where a person, like, you have people that as much as you tell them, you're giving them advice and trying to help them. Some people just they don't have it. And I know it's kind of like a weird thing because obviously you don't, especially if it's a loved one, you don't want to give up on someone like that. But in this case, it's like, dude, this is business. You know what I'm saying? It's business. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be okay. You just don't have it. And it's sad that I think with a lot of the supporters of the Pelicans, and I've been on Twitter, been on YouTube, read comments under posts and things. People are saying the same thing. Nothing's changed. Like, that's a huge concern. Like, and really, it's really hard to get excited about the team because of him.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's for real. It's hard. It's like, yeah, the team's talking great, but it's like, who's the coach? Dang.
I know, but like I said,
you go up and then you got, it's like, okay, I got to come down because it's like, it's not.
He's a downer. Willie's a Debbie Downer to the whole. Willie is definitely a Debbie Downer in terms of what the philosophy he bought in, hook, line, and sinker to what we've seen the last whatever years with the previous administration. I don't think he has that kind of control. The only thing that's a link here between Joe and him is the Detroit thing, which could be vastly snapped if things go south. And I don't think they are. Joe Dumars is not going to go in there and close the door and allow Willie Green to do it. He's going to be at those damn games, both him and Troy Weaver, over the shoulders of those guys. Oh, he's going to be there.
You know
that's no doubt about that.
Just go sit down. All right, guys. You know what I'm saying? Look, I want you to be here.
He got to
here. This is what we try to do. Let's go out there and do it.
He still has to deal with the fact that he has a boss. I mean, he's very high in the organization, but Gail is the owner, and she wants Willie. And the only thing gets Willie going is if he doesn't hand the building. But Joe Dumars is going to be there. I have no doubt about it. He knows what went wrong with the Pelicans in terms of philosophy.
And she can go too.
She can go too. She was sitting up there at the front of the. She was sitting in the front of the thing watching the whole media day. She had a red jacket with black.
Nobody cares.
Gail was at the front. Yes, she was. But here goes Joe Dumars. Let's hear from Joe. Here we go.
Telling those guys, you guys need to talk to each other about where you like to be, and those things happen automatically. And so, I do think that you have to have people on the same page. You have to have a kind of a plan of how you want to do things. But also, man, those players, man, they have to connect organically on the court. More than anything else, it has to happen like that.
What have you seen from Zion since he's came back in the city? And what have the conversations been with him as far as like what are the expectations as far as
the main thing that I've talked to Zion about is just responsibility and accountability. I said, what I've said to him is with greatness comes responsibility. You don't get to be great and not responsible.
Hey boy, hit him with Spider-Man.
There's just been a heavy emphasis on that, just being accountable. And
that boy hit him with the Spider-Man rhetoric.
Responsible for what you do. It's not enough just to be talented.
Uncle Ben asked.
And I've said to him, I said, look, there's a difference between talent and great. Those are two different things. You can be talented without any responsibility. You can't be great without any responsibility. You just can't. That's
well, that hits different with Joe Dumars telling you that.
Let's just make sure that we are
that's
responsible
a hard
and accountable.
Right there, though.
But that's Joe Dumars telling Zion Williamson that you're talented, but it's a difference between talent and great, and that's Joe, MVP, two-time champion, Hall of Famer, top 50, telling Zion Williamson these things. It hit differently. Go ahead, Lex.
Oh, this is what Zion needed all along.
Mm-hmm.
This is what he needed coming into the league. Think about that. If Zion came into the league with this type of seasoned veteran, decorated veteran. You know, maturity, understanding the game. And I mean, the way that I feel like Zion's, you know, career up to this point would be totally different. I really do. Because, you know, you can definitely see the two different mentalities of Joe compared to Griff.
Like night and day.
Yes, it's and
Literally.
everybody said it. Yeah, Knoxville, night and day. It literally is, but it would have been nice.
Literally.
And Zion has always said, I don't know if anybody has, you know, recalled this or not, but he's always responded well to that old school mentality type cats. When you look at Coach K, Van Gundy, they're
Yep.
older.
Great point.
They have an old school feel. He's always responded well. And it's kind of sad because I feel like the organization under Griff, like, how do you not understand that? How do you go away from that when it was loud and clear? You know, it's like you knew these things, but you still went away from it. I mean, and I have to disagree with Zion because he said, you know, Willie helps him out a lot. That was definitely political. Okay. Willie ain't helping Zion with nothing.
Meant that in reverse.
I'm like, Zion, stop it. I can go back. We can go back in the archives and hear you talking about, like, we just didn't make adjustments. Who are you talking about, Zion?
He was telling it.
buddy?
He sure enough was telling it.
We got to the part of the Joe Dumars interview where he was talking about how Willie come in his office every day.
No, we about to get to it, DC.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and fire it up and keep it going. Here we go, y'all.
Learning his ABC.
And I can tell you, he's been great. Zion has been great. I've not had any issues with him. He's been working extremely hard. I see him probably for the last month in and out of the practice facility, really pushing himself hard. So I have been happy with him this summer. But still, at the end of the day, man, you got to be responsible and accountable for everything you do.
That's right.
Joe, you talked about how you want to get everybody on the same page. That's what you've kind of been working on the last few weeks or months even. How does that look like between the front office and the coaching staff? Because some of the players are doing their part on the court right now, but what about the rest of the group?
Communication. Like, I just had a long meeting this morning at 9 a.m. with the entire coaching staff, with everything, and talked about expectations, responsibilities, everything that we should be trying to accomplish.
And accountability.
The way that works is you have to communicate. You cannot work in a silo where you're not communicating with the person. So Willie walks into my office every day. We sit and watch the guys scrimmage and go up and down every day. And as we're watching them scrimmage, we're talking about what's happening. You see that play?
Gotta hold this
Just be a good
chicken
play for that guy.
hand.
Like, so I just think it's communication. That's the only way you can be on the same page.
Pause it. He said, yeah, we watching the scrimmages, and as we watching the scrimmages, I said,
I'll tell her, hey, listen, you need to do that.
This would be a good play for that guy.
As we're watching them scrimmage, we're talking about what's happening. You see that play? This would be a good play for that guy. Like, so I just think it's communication. That's the only way you can be on the same page.
That is so preschool, man. That is so preschool. Y'all hear me? You gotta hold this.
Yeah, but let's look on the positive side. Dude.
I am looking on. No, we speaking
As we're watching them scrimmage, we're talking about what's
guy.
happening. You see that play? This would be a good play for that guy. Like, so
I'm just saying, like, what I see is
this is a good play for this guy.
He remote controller.
Willie Green gonna have a little cut in
a joystick in his back.
And Joe just gonna put his hand in there and move it on around.
Do you see he a puppet anyway? What's a puppet without a hand?
That's a lot of energy.
He getting paid to, Lex.
Minutes a game, Willie.
I'm saying, what else is he gonna do? I mean, if he can't fire him, he got to control him, right?
That are available that you don't have to.
I think but Lex,
you can't.
We beyond that. We know.
Yeah, because we can't.
Here, you know he gonna be here. So
right.
Like you can't. He obviously can't move on from him and get who takes over as GM of an organization and they don't get their guy. That's what everybody does. They get
Yes.
their coach.
Yeah, I know.
Because my reputation is on the
Yeah.
line.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But he can't
Yeah.
do that this year. He got to keep Willie. So
Very
if
key.
under the circumstances of keeping Willie, I would love to have Joe babysit him and put that joystick in his back, that big
I'm straight up. Straight
and
up.
drive him around on the sideline.
Well, I hope he's getting his bonuses because that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work.
He ain't got nothing else to do though, Lex. He is his main goal and focus is to pay absolute holy attention to this team to turn them around.
He wants to win.
Oh yeah.
Can't do nothing but
You know what I'm
help.
saying? Like, hey, and I know a lot of people in mainstream media have been talking about the play-in. Now, when I'm listening to Joe talk, he ain't talking about no play-in. Y'all better get in the playoffs.
Man, he won't play off.
Y'all better get in the playoffs. Y'all guaranteed in the
You got the
playoffs.
wrong dude if he talking playing.
To get in the playoffs. That's crazy. And I feel him. Cause I told y'all, look, Pelicans supporters are done with playing. Been there, done that. It's time.
Goddamn right. No more.
That was great timing. You know what? I wonder if you got timing on something else. You know what I was talking
More do you
about?
want from me?
Why you do that? Why you do that?
It's just man, listen, I'm just saying, man, at the end of the day, DC, Lexxah, all right.
Knoxville
Well,
knows what I'm talking about.
At this point, Lex, is it a secret?
Yes.
Is it a secret anymore?
It's not a secret no more.
The
It's not a
secret
secret
is
no
out.
more.
That's why I didn't say it, man. But you gotta wait though.
They didn't open the Perry Mason suitcase. They didn't open
You know what I'm
Everybody
saying?
saw it.
It's over with, Lex. If we still hitting them with the dun dun dun,
That secret went down with
It was
with
fun
Griffin.
though. It was
yeah,
fun.
the secret went down with Griffin. That's right.
Now
man.
we gotta think of something else, man. For real.
Yeah. Well, DC, he got donations. DC, that's pretty funny too. DC. I said DC, we got donations. That's pretty funny, bro. So you know.
The clock winding down as far as how Willie got, how long Willie has here, man. But it needs to be now, though, before the season starts.
Well, let's see what Joe's puppetry. Well, let's see how that ends up. I think we can get some success that way.
I hope Willie runs the wrong play. I didn't say that guy running this play. I said that guy. You're fired. You know what I'm saying?
You got to be in the hole for him to be justified to get him out. But let's listen to a little bit more Joe talk about puppeteering Willie. Here we go, y'all.
Expectations, responsibilities, everything that we should be trying to accomplish. The way that works is you have to communicate. You cannot work in a silo where you're not communicating with the person. So Willie walks into my office every day. We sit and watch the guys scrimmage and go up and down every day. And as we're watching them scrimmage, we're talking about what's happening. You see that play? This would be a good play for that guy. So I just think it's communication. That's the only way you can be on the same page. The minute you stop communicating is when issues come up. And at some point, then you're not on the same page because you haven't been communicating. So that's the biggest thing in terms of, with the players is organic on the court,
right, Joe,
off the court, with the front office, and
he said organic.
Head coaches, the coaching staff.
I'm trying to be
it's
nice.
really communication. It's just back and forth conversations.
Can someone build an NBA team similar to the Pistons team with the mental toughness and physical toughness that you played on? I mean, is this a different type of player today, or can someone build a team like that?
It's a different league today. Without a doubt, it's a different league today. I also think the elements to winning, though, remain the same. You have to have guys who are committed, who are team first, willing to sacrifice, willing to make the extra pass, willing to give their body up for the next guy. All those things, any championship team you see, whether it was Oklahoma City just now, how unselfish they were, the teams over the past 5 years, those elements don't changed. Now, style of play changed. It might not be as physical as it once was, and I'm okay with that. That's fine. But the elements to winning and being successful, those are the things that remain the same.
How have you seen the younger guys settle in now throughout the summer?
I'm sorry?
The younger guys settle in throughout the summer?
Yeah. Those are the guys. So what we've done with a lot of those guys is we're making sure that, for instance, I just left and Peavy was working out with Sadiq Bey. Fears working out with Jordan Poole. When Queen is finally getting back on the court, he's with Kevon Looney. With these young guys, you got to put that veteran experience in front of them. I can sit and talk to them all day long. Need to do this, need to do that, need to do this. But they need to see it on the court. And they need to see it from veteran guys on the court. And that's what we do with the young guys. Like, we pair them with vets who really know how to work. If you see Sadiq Bey work, Peavy working out with him has no choice but to work at that pace. Like, because these veteran guys, they know how to go. Looney goes extremely hard in his workout. So when Queen is with him, you can't go half speed and the vet guy is going all out. And so that's how you get those guys up to speed. You can talk to them. It's overrated sometimes. I mean, you know, I can sit here and talk to them until I'm blue in the face, but they need to get out there and do it and see it. And to your point about organically, that's what I'm talking about. Put them out there. You don't have to say anything. All of a sudden, you'll see the young guys working at the same pace as the veteran guys.
Good game, Joe.
What do you think you guys can do to kind of help Derek to be ready to go once he's healthy enough to play, and knowing that he's going to be missing some time coming back from this injury?
Yeah. So what we said to him is that your legs aren't broken, and so you can run. So he's so sick of running and riding the bike. I asked him. I said, "You know who Lance Armstrong is?" He said, "I've heard the name before." I said, "Yeah, you're going to be Lance Armstrong here on this bike, man." And so he came back the next day like, "I know who that is now." Yeah, you Google it. That's why you know. So we pushed him about conditioning. Just you have to get in the best shape possible, and then he's right there watching every day. You can see over the last several weeks, like he's more and more anxious to get out there right now. But until he can get out there, what we've emphasized is just get your body in incredible shape. That'll help you catch up a lot quicker if you're in great shape.
Just in general, how do you kind of feel about the big man position with the team, with bringing back DC, bringing in, you mentioned Kevin Looney, just where do you kind of see that group falling into place? Right?
I'm a big believer.
That's a Guillory question, because that's something that he may have mentioned on that podcast, and we took portions of it and put it on the channel. He was asking him about his thought process was that the bigs, that they had a deficit in terms of the bigs. Let's see how Joe addressed it.
I believe in depth in general. I'm a huge believer in depth. Like, if you have depth on your team, you have a chance, because you can always have someone out there going full speed. You can always have someone out there going really hard. It's one of the things I said about not building your team around one or two or just three guys. So when you see us have several big men, it's by design. It's by design that if you look at every position we have several people that can play. And that's by design of how we want to build our team. We don't want to have to depend on just one person or just two people. We want to walk out there every night and send 10, 12 people out there every night and know that
10, 12.
It could be either one of you guys night tonight. Like, it's not written in stone. It has to be one person. It can be anybody's night on a given night.
Willie,
all right.
Willie, you need to give minutes to that guy, and Willie.
He said 10 or 12. The rotation 10 to 12 guys. Pelicans are deep. Thoughts on what Joe Dumars
Willie
said?
Green can't run Kevon Looney into the ground, because you know that's what he want to do.
Well, yeah. Well, that's the small big that actually has a good offensive rebounder. DC really smart with his passes. Looney could be that guy, but I don't know if Joe.
About 32 minutes a game.
I don't think Joe.
If Willie had his way.
Right. So I think Joe. But what's your thoughts on Joe's commentary on that last segment?
I mean, I thought he had a masterful just press conference all across the board. Everything
Absolutely.
You would want to hear Joe Dumars say, that's exactly what he was saying.
Did you believe it though?
I do. I do.
Okay.
A few key things that he kind of hit on that just kind of stuck with me, man. Just talking about the depth. Well, like Lex was saying about the wins. I don't know what parts we got to and didn't. My internet was clicking in and out. But you gonna go out there and you're gonna compete every game, and the win's gonna take care of yourself. I thought that was like, it's like, wow, man. That's
Right.
true. And then when he talked about
The
what
blocks,
he
the
told,
games. The guy asked him about the block of games. He's looking at games and blocks, and Joe
yeah,
Dumars, he doesn't do that.
I don't care. We're gonna
Right.
go out there and we want to win all of them. We're gonna compete to win all of them. And we'll look at where it fell when that time comes. If we competing and we playing at the highest level that we're capable of, I'm pretty sure we'll be okay with the results. I'm like, okay, that make a whole hell of a lot of sense to me. And then when he was touching on Zion, talking about what he told him and the accountability thing, because Zion has never really been held accountable. Yeah, that's right. You haven't been held accountable by
But you know what?
David Griffin and all
Yeah,
of
that
his.
was Griff's fault though, man. I mean,
No.
everybody.
I'm not blaming him, Lex. I'm not saying it's Zion's fault, but I'm saying
DC, be careful. He looking at you. He
I know,
pissed.
right? I'm on your side, bro. I'm not trying to go over there. But look, he hasn't been held accountable, and with him not being held accountable, he also hasn't had the leadway that we know he should have had on the court to be able to play maybe through some of these tic-tacky injuries where we know he could have still been playing. For him to be getting more minutes and not being taken out at the 6-minute mark in the first quarter, like I saw somebody put in the comment.
First person be subbed out.
Right.
The best player on the team. Like,
That
man,
ain't gonna
Makes
happen, bro.
absolutely no sense.
It's not gonna happen, bro.
Makes no sense. But some of these
Can't happen.
things Zion wasn't privy to for the fact that he didn't have that accountability or he wasn't being held to a standard of greatness. So for him to want that for himself by also having other people to hold him to that, man, because you can be disciplined, you can do some stuff, but if the standards you have for yourself or the goals you set for yourself, you don't have others on your team holding you accountable to those goals you have for yourself, it'll be almost impossible to achieve them. So I do believe Joe, man, and regardless of however the season turns out, if we do get some more, I guess, bumps in the road that we don't expect, I still think it'll go a hell of a lot smoother than any other season we've had prior to this.
Lex, thoughts?
Who's the coach again?
Oh shit.
What about Joe though, Lex? That's the whole
Joe. We ain't talking about it.
I know. I like everything that he said.
Okay.
I do. I'm with everything that he said. I really feel like there's vision, there's direction, which is what this organization so badly needed. We still have to see the actions. We've been told all this good stuff for a while, but we still have to see it.
Mm-hmm.
We're owed that as supporters. Like we've been going through a lot of stuff, and we still have to see it. And I know, again, it starts with the change of mentality, but we have to see the action part. We got to see the action part. So I'm liking everything that I'm hearing, but again, it is just we're hearing it. You know what I'm saying? Now it's time for the action, and I'm ready for the action. I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready for the action. I want to see it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Lex. And speaking of which, listen to because you inspired this clip right here. This is from DeJounte Murray speaking about a similar topic. Listen to what he had to say about front office changes.
In terms of being on the same page, when one front office moves aggressively, bring you in, make you a centerpiece, sees you as their solution, and then one season later they're gone, there's a new front office. Is there anything that you have to do to get on the same page with them? Is there anything that you need to hear from them? Is
cause uncertainty, or is it awkward or anything like that?
I mean, you can't really go off of hearing things, and I think that's in all the fields we're in. You know what I'm saying? Anybody could tell us anything, but it means nothing if the actions don't match it. You know, and
Oh,
actions speak
wow.
louder than words. So,
I must have missed
for
that part.
myself, my job is to continue to show up,
He said
be
that.
the leader I am, and just work my tail off. And like I said, help the guys that want to be helped and allow people to help me. And, that's going to speak for itself, and everything else will just take care of itself.
All right, Mr. Murray.
Okay. That was hot.
That's good game.
I like
You
it.
must have heard me because I hadn't watched. I hadn't watched all of them. It's a lot of them. But yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I think I stopped at Yves Misi. I barely understood what the hell he was saying.
Okay. I mean,
Don't do Eves like that, bro.
I'm just saying, I like Yves, man. Hey, I did know one
What's
thing he
his
said
name
because we're
again?
not Yves Misi.
oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I gotta say his name right. He earned it.
Yeah.
But I do know one thing he said. He said, remember we watched that workout clip of Yves, and he was up there taking turnaround jumpers and all of that type of shit.
Yeah, I remember that.
Hey, somebody talk to him. 'Cause
Hakeem?
they asked him about that today.
Hakeem?
Yeah, he no Akeem.
No Hakeem?
No Akeem.
He's
It
not
wasn't.
ready.
I'll tell you one. It wasn't Mutombo. I'll
Not
tell you
ready
one damn
for
thing.
Akeem the Dream footwork.
Hey, he know it, Lex.
Yeah.
They asked him a question. Oh, you gonna step out and take a three? He said, no, I'm gonna work on defensive rebounding. I'm gonna work on setting better screens. I said, look at this shit here, man. Somebody must have called him.
Hey, a big one, finishing around the basket,
said
because
that too.
in summer league, that dude was not finishing around the basket. Everybody was talking about how much bigger he got. And I'm like, okay, you got bigger, but where's the skill?
Yeah.
Where's the execution?
That was a
That's
good
what
show.
I was looking for. Like
Right.
you got to be careful about when you put weight on, man. Okay? Because when you put weight on, it can throw your coordination and different things off. And so if that's not maturing with the weight that you're putting on your body, that can be a problem. So I like when they said they were talking about the weight he put on, be like, okay, I ain't trying to hear nothing about that. How are you finishing around the basket? Now, if they would have said the weight is on and he was finishing around the basket in summer league, I would have been like, okay, yeah, he's looking good. But that part right there was really huge, and I'm glad he stated that. You know, he hit all the things. Like, you got to take steps. You got to accomplish one thing, master one thing, and then you can add on. Once you master stuff, it makes it easier. But you can't just, especially on the pro level, you have to carve out a role. And I've heard this from a lot of vets, especially Rico Hines, his runs, always bringing the guys around and talking to them. But all the guys that are there that are on an NBA team and they get minutes, they've said many a times, hey, you have to carve out a role. If you're not on it, if you're not on a team, or you came in on a two-way contract, or you were second round, or you're coming from the G League, don't think that they're bringing you in to be a scorer, to be that guy. No, they want you to support the guy that they chose. You know what I'm saying? So you need to, he needs a hustle guy. You know what I'm saying? You need, when the guy slashes in the lane, he needs to be able to kick it out to you and you knock down that three. You can be a 3-and-D guy. You can be a defensive rebounder, an energy guy, hustle guy. But they're not looking for you to, do like major scoring. You know what I'm saying? You have to carve out a role. And he gets that, man. That's what it's about. Because not everybody can be the main scorer. Everybody can't be the main scorer.
That's right. He got to have a role, man, and he has to fill that role. Go ahead, DC.
Yeah, well, I say what I had to say for the most part, man. I just was impressed by the self-awareness and whoever gave him that talking to, and he took to that, and is talking about improving on defensive rebound and scoring around the basket. like Lex said, and setting screens and just doing that dirty work, man. And I wonder if he's a guy that's gonna be paired up with Looney as well, with Derek Queen, because I think he can learn a lot from him. But that gives me, I guess, some encouragement after the summer league, man, because I was looking at that damn workout, and then I looked at that shit I saw at the summer league, and I'm like, no, we might have a little bit of a sophomore slump coming on here. But if he can, like you said, let's carve out a role and be willing to see what's needed and do what's necessary, I think Yves can be an excellent addition. And I'm curious to see, which is, the question mark, how they're going to distribute the minutes of the bigs. Because it can go in a bad direction if they're not utilizing them correctly. Some games you're going to love to see a double big lineup, and I think
can I ask a question?
What's up?
Who's the coach?
Oh shit!
You won't be the coach for long if you can't figure that out.
Joe Dumars, like Joe Dumars.
Joe Dumars.
He's gonna be coaching in
Joe
Willie
Dumars
Face.
is the coach.
He's gonna be coaching in Willie Face.
What? With
Not
his
black face,
joystick?
but Willie Face. Yeah.
Look, this is
You
NBA
think
2K now. What up, Stacy Dog? How you doing, man?
All right, Stacy in the building. Been a minute.
Shout out to the flock, man. Appreciate y'all. Bird Talk, Stacy, all the fam. Don, Knoxville, Jacob, Cap, Manny, Mary, K. Big ups to everybody, man. Good to see y'all in the stream, man, as well. Appreciate y'all. Y'all hit the like button, man. We're going to keep this train rolling. Going over. What's up, T? Shout out to you, man, as well. Brother Jaden, what's up, Jaden? Much love, fam. Good to see y'all all in the stream, man. Brother Guillory, big ups to you. DJ State of the Pelicans, much love to everybody. What's up, Daniel? Big ups to the fam, man. Appreciate y'all. But listen, man, that's very interesting. Yeah, the whole way. That's why I played Joe Dumars' episode, and I thought him being separate and his message not getting jumbled with Willie Green, who spoke for like 25 minutes. I listened to Willie Green's interview.
You know what? Did anybody else listen to him? I didn't listen to him.
I started to fall asleep, Lex, and I was actually doing something.
You know what?
While I was listening
I wasn't even going to give him a chance to make me fall asleep because I didn't want to. I didn't want. I didn't want to see his face, and I didn't want to hear his voice.
Well, I had to see if the man actually learned.
He isn't. He's the same as he was 4 years ago.
Absolutely the same.
I can hear it.
At least as far as speaking in the media goes, he's absolutely the same. Nothing is. It's literally like he's saying the same stuff. He does it.
I bet you he used the worst force, didn't he?
You know what? I don't even remember.
I don't remember.
He does the same stuff fluid enough to where he's not exactly repeating.
And he don't say
the
nothing.
word verbatim.
Don't ask him about the pick and roll.
He ain't gonna say shit. But everything he said is pretty much the same. Everything is generic.
Yeah.
And it
is and non-specific
talking point to. It's like you talking to somebody and you talking around the subject the whole time. I was like, oh, come on, man.
He don't know. He don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying about Willie Green, man. It's very, very generic and very non-specific. Very melancholy, non-energetic, non-motivational.
Yeah.
Just a non-nutrient spill that just
opposite of Joe. You know what's
exactly
crazy?
that's definitely true.
Cool and calm and collected as Joe is, you can hear his excitement. You know what I'm saying? You can hear like just movement and what he wants to do. You know what I'm saying?
Now Willie did make some reference to them being a winning team, and he said some things where it sounded like he was excited, but it's Willie.
No.
I'm just saying he did.
He did.
I actually listened to him, and that was probably pretty much. That was the only thing he said that I was like, all right.
Okay, so that one part convinced you that maybe there's hope.
Lex, you going too far.
I mean, what are we saying then? What you saying? What you saying, dog?
I'm just saying the man had a little bit of excitement going on.
Okay.
In his his nonchalant, monotonous speech.
So what does that mean, though? Does that mean he's a changed man?
No, I ain't gonna. I'm not. I agree.
You know what? I think he is a changed man, Lex, because he's going from being a hand puppet for one GM to the next. So he's gonna do something different.
Okay.
You got a different controller.
When you said that I don't even know if that's a good thing.
I mean,
like something else.
Well, I mean, the other person who was ruling the joystick on Willie ain't know shit about basketball. At least this person who got the joystick know about basketball.
It's making the best out of the bad.
It's got to be better.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. But it makes the best out of a not so good situation with Willie Green, because they really wanted him out of here. I think the man wanted to get rid of him, but she stepped in there and prevented that from happening. So, I mean, I think Joe Dumars is handling it the right way. He's not going to be the kind of guy that goes in. We know the octopus was a micromanager. He just was a dumb one. So, I mean, yeah, he this is a little different in my estimation, because you got a guy that's really credible doing this. And like Zion said, and we talked about this before, but when you hear it come from him, it definitely hits different. He was kind of in awe of Joe Dumars speaking to him, telling him about where he needs to go to be great. That's Joe Dumars telling him that. Zion loves Michael Jordan. Loves Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan is well known that Jordan considered Joe Dumars the toughest defender he ever faced. That's a very high praise.
High praise.
And he's talking to Zion about greatness. So I mean, this is something out of worldly, man. But I think it's a positive. I think we have the proper leadership in place. I know Willie Green is the mismatch in the matrix that's still left here, but I mean, that's not. You can see how serious Joe is in getting the team to perform. He's not looking for no playing team. Joe Dumars wants his team to play competitively every night. The Detroit mentality fits the city and the region. We a blue collar city. The Pelicans supposed to be a tough, rough, gruff team that fights hard, that has a little star power, some flash. We got some talent here. And like Wendy said, I agree with some of the stuff he was saying about it's now or never for the Pelicans. But look at Zion. Zion shows up looking fantastic, in fantastic shape. You got shooters around him. Joe Dumars is here. Willie's is the question mark. But in the end, I think Joe and those guys are going to stay on Willie. And if Willie can't perform, they will pull Willie up out of here. Willie will not be a speed bump to success. He will not be allowed to be that. This team, I'm just going to be honest with you on that. So anyway, y'all ready to hear?
He would not be allowed to be what?
A speed bump to success.
That's a different one. I ain't never heard that one.
Well, you can put that on your shirt, DC, and you can make a song out of it, just like you did that Roster Wars song.
Man, it's kind of like a backhanded compliment,
What? Well, for Willie, it is. Don't
not be allowed to be a speed bump to success.
Or don't be a speed bump to success. That's supposed to. You can make a song with your guitar with that one, DC.
So Willie gonna get rolled over like the people doing the speed bumps when they.
That's right. You're gonna get rolled over if don't be a speed bumper. He will be one if he don't handle his business. That's the point, right?
Let's get to Trey.
Here's Trey.
A little hunger to the next season.
Trey, what do you think of the team around you now that just put together? There's a lot of new faces.
Depth, young depth, and I think that's going to be a big help for us, especially in the Western Conference is a tough conference, and we have a lot of people there. We have a lot of different teams that are going to be competing. But I think what separates us is our youth and our speed, and I really feel like we're going to do really well this year based on the guys that we've added and just the way that we all fit as a collective.
Unfortunately, it's kind of been a thing for you for the past couple of years being limited during the summers. Just what was your approach this summer, not being able to take contact for a lot of it, but still finding ways to get better?
I mean, I think really what changed was just that, I had to work on different things earlier in the summer because I wasn't really able to, shoot threes until like middle of July or so. Like it was hard to shoot threes. So I worked a lot on, mid-range shots and getting to that second level. The contact portion, obviously, I wanted to, play, but I think it was just, it gave me time to slow down and really just like work on things I really need to work on.
Do you have a different sense of confidence heading to camp this season, just knowing that you didn't have to go through any of the contract stuff, all that's taken care of, your future's pretty locked in?
Not necessarily. I would say that obviously having a contract locked in and not really having to think about that is, it's a weight off your shoulders. But I don't think it really affected me basketball wise too much because, I knew I was gonna be fine. Like whether that was last year or this year, like I knew I was gonna be fine. And so I think the biggest thing is just trusting my work and preparing for the season and getting ready to lead my team.
Leadership role, you feel like?
Even if he was here, I probably still would have taken the same leadership role. I just think as I've grown, and this is my 5th year in the building, and as crazy as that sounds to me, like I feel like you have to step into those roles. You have to step into being a leader, especially for the goals that I have for myself. I have to be a leader for this team in order for us to win games and make it far.
What can you say about the addition of Jordan Poole? Seems like you guys already had a relationship. Now he's been out of the team, kind of replaces CJ. What can you say about his game and what he's going to bring to the team?
Yeah, super dynamic and good dude. Really brings a good dynamic to the locker room. As soon as he got traded, first of all, I was shocked. I thought it was kind of fake actually when I saw the news, but it was cool. I called him that day and we talked for like 2 hours about different stuff about the team and then just like how we want to get things done this year. So really excited to have him on the team.
Up in a huge jump in points per game last season. You also went up in rebounds and assists per game. There was an injury bug issue. You got a lot of opportunities because of that. Now people come back healthy. How do you keep maintaining that production while also obviously playing team basketball?
Yeah, that's what the summer work is for. You just tighten up your skills, get better. I think there's different ways that I'm going to be able to, showcase my game that I wasn't able to last year because of, just confidence in my work. And I know this summer I put in a lot of work. And I feel like our team is just structured in a way where I can help these guys a lot with, my scoring ability, my gravity, and then also my added playmaking.
The work that he's been putting in this summer.
He looks good. Yeah, he looks good right now. He's slimmer than I've ever seen him during the summertime, which is always a really good sign. And, I just feel like he's in a really good place mentally.
Joe talked about hanging out with Zion, watching games with him. What have your interactions been with him and maybe talking about what he did in Detroit and how you get to a place like that?
We've had a lot of conversations. Me and Joe, when I got to Summer League, me and him had almost a 2-hour conversation and just talked about a lot of different things, his expectations, what I expect, different things that, we feel about the team, our outlook on winning, mindset, but just a bunch of different things. And so it's good to talk to him, especially because he was a player and he was a winner. Like, that's where I want to be as a player, as a winner. And so, hearing him picking his brain on that aspect is not something that you're able to get a lot throughout the NBA. So, it's very valuable to have him as the president.
With the bad boys that he was part of. Have any of you gone back and looked at old highlights?
I am. I'm not that young. Like I'm young, but not that young. So I know even before he was the GM, I knew who they were. I've watched them, not watch them live play, obviously, but watch back on highlights and stuff like that. So I'm very aware of, how they played, what their mindset was, their philosophies and stuff like that. So I know he's probably thinking about bringing some of that championship DNA here.
Talk about Jordan's obsession with the game and being in the gym and everything like that. Have you really seen that, and how much do you need that type of mindset on this team this year?
Say that one more time for me. I'm sorry.
Joe had talked about Jordan's obsession with the game and the mindset and everything like that. How much have you seen that, and how much do you need that mindset in his team?
I'll give you an example. I heard ball bouncing this morning when I was coming in for physicals, and JP was working out on the court already. So I think it just shows you what type of guy he is when it comes to working out and taking his game seriously. When we were in Laguna, after everybody was done, me and him worked out once again. So I know he really takes it seriously. And, you love seeing guys do stuff like that because then it makes me think, all right, now I have to work harder, or I'm going to make sure I'm still working because I know he's going to be right behind me.
All right, there go Trey Murphy there, fam. DC, Lex, thoughts on Trey Murphy? Another year, he's elevating his leadership role, and more significantly, a part of the team. Now his money's locked in, he's good, and we have access to now Zion's super fit looking. You have Jordan Poole here as well. Let's talk about Trey's contribution.
I think Trey's contribution is going to be huge. He fully can embrace, the role he was given last year, knows what to expect now of kind of being more of the guy, or he was pretty much the guy for a lot of games last year, and I think now, well, what he was talking about and what I saw on tape, as far as him in the mid range, man, Trey has always been a lethal shooter, especially from 3-point line. But it was something that was always off or just non-fluid about him and his mid-range shot. Well, when I saw the footage of him, although this is workouts, looks extremely fluid, man. He looks ready to be the 3-level scorer that I told you he is. Q. And looking at him right now is
You was talking about Reddish, man.
Man, I said, Trey, what is this man? What is this man talking about? You
You
always
said
want
it.
some
You
damn
said
relish.
it.
You always want some relish on a hot dog.
You said it, bro. You told me on the phone that you was talking about Cam Reddish was a 3-level scorer. That's what you said.
I told you the Saints gonna beat the Buffalo
No.
Bills. You heard it here first.
All right, DC is definitely.
Well, you want to change the subject? I can change the subject too. But anyway, back to Trey Murphy. Like I was saying, man, what he's been able to do, just excelling year after year after year after year. I think this is going to be one of the biggest leaps we've probably seen from him. You hear him focusing a lot on passing and his playmaking. That's because last year, I think Trey was damn near averaging like 5 assists last year. Not saying he's going to be a point guard or anything. I don't see that. But I think that Trey he's finally found himself, and he's comfortable and confident on a basketball court. You know what I'm saying? And I think we're going to see that, man. And it's going to turn into a huge season. And as you can see him right now, man, he looks like he's ready. I want to see these guys playing preseason, man. I really can't wait to just see what this kind of looks like a little bit, because these players have a newfound hunger, it seems like, to get David Griffin out of the building. It's almost if they got new life. Come on, Lex.
I mean, Griffin's already gone. We just need to
Willie gonna work himself out. Willie gonna be out of here, because the truth of the matter is,
I just wanted to make sure we were talking about the right stuff.
You can have talent and get to the playoffs, but without a coach, when you go up against other coaches who got talent too, coaching always gets exposed, and that's what's gonna happen.
It's already been exposed.
I know, but it's got to happen one more time before we get him out of here. And he'll be gone.
How much longer do we have to suffer?
I told you they wasn't gonna get rid of David Griffin and Willie Green. You had to take your pick. You had to take your pick. They wasn't gonna do both of
them. I hope he understands that this team has one goal. We know what Joe meant.
Joe ain't playing, man. Joe made him take all that stuff off them walls.
Yeah. Hey, stupid. Hey, hit that like button if you all are happy that Joe took all them signs down of togetherness. What? Compassion? What was the other one? Hit the like button.
Shit. What's togetherness? Passion, joy.
And joy. Oh, Lord Jesus.
You have to play.
Hit the like button if you are so thankful that Joe took down joy.
Joy, that was Willie. That was Willie with the joy. I do believe the other ones might have been David Griffin. I know Willie was.
I gotta watch that. I can't believe these chicken heads, man. They put joy up there, and these are grown men. Who plays basketball with joy?
Mindfulness. That's right, Don. Don got mindfulness.
Look, you have to hear any of the players
in my Jack Sparrow voice.
Any of those terms. Y'all heard any of the players repeat any of that shit that was on the wall?
They took all that down, bro, and put up one goal.
That made them weak. And all them words didn't even represent New Orleans, man.
That was David Griffin with that, man. That was him with that weakness, man. They ain't had the nerve to call the team soft.
That was Willie with joy, though.
Boy, that was Willie with joy. Ain't nobody trying to hear that in basketball. Dog, this is competitive professional sports, and you talking about joy.
It took all that down, fam. Ripped all that shit
Oh
off the
my
walls.
God. Yeah,
He got
those were
one goal.
soft words.
Yep.
I wouldn't even teach that to my 5-year-old.
But Willie Green was criticized. He criticized his team and lost his team last year, according to reports, because he called them soft.
And he
But it
was
was
the reason for
I
their
know
softness.
he was the source
of
of the
softness.
he was the salt and the soft.
Charmin ultra softness.
He was the sultan of soft, no doubt about it. He was the one that was he created it. He was the source of the softness. It was Willie Green, but too unintelligent to see that the team was a reflection of himself. So if you didn't like the soft team, you're the head coach. They're in your image and likeness.
Can you believe this dude said that he's not really a good coach? Y'all remember when he said that?
He said I'm not that good of a coach.
Yes,
He did
that's
say
what I'm
that.
saying.
He was
I'm
honest.
like, can you all listen to him?
Listen
to him.
Willie
He
do
did
a
say
lot
that.
of shit. He ain't a liar though.
He ain't a liar. He's an idiot. He's got a big nose, but he ain't a liar.
Man.
He ain't a liar.
He ain't a liar. He ain't a liar. You ain't lying. He can look at his game and see he ain't a good coach. Anyway, DC, we got your guy on there, Jose Alvarado.
All right.
Here was Jose said DC was very intrigued by Jose.
What the hell is going on? Intimacy. What?
That
wasn't the word up there.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Pause, man.
Look,
it's
yeah.
late. You might want to go curl up with your girl and stuff.
Oh yeah, it is about that hour.
What?
The night is still early.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
The night is still early.
Here's Jose Alvarado. Here you go.
Got like 2 questions for me. Come on. Let's go.
No, they got 2 questions for Willie. They ain't trying to hear that dude.
That dude sat up there for 25 minutes, Lex.
I mean, me personally, my summer obviously went well.
Good to see you healthy,
I
though.
just got, play basketball, getting better, getting my body right, getting in the weight room more, just try to stay as healthy as I can. That's one of my goals is, play a lot of games this year, and or at least stay healthy for all of them. So that's the main thing, my goal. And then the team, I think we got a good mix, of a lot of players with different talent that's going to be on the court, and it's going to be great. It's going to be great for everybody. I'm great. Obviously it was scary for me, and being out in another country, getting hurt that bad, it was probably not the best feeling either at that point either. So, but when I got back, everybody took care of me. It was a good process of it, but it went well, and I'm back to normal now.
What's the biggest difference that you've noticed with Dumars now leading the front office?
It's no gray areas. Straight up, he's gonna tell you what it is. Tell you you don't need to beat around the bush. That's one thing you around with him at least is really well. It's no gray areas, like I said, and that's something you want as a basketball player. You want to know what it is, and you don't need to be overthinking something. So that's something I think he really does really well.
With Joe joining the team, obviously I'm sure you've heard about the Bad Boys. We've mentioned the Bad Boys, the Detroit Pistons, their era when Joe Dumars was winning Finals MVP. They were agitators. They didn't hide from that. They didn't mind people disliking them. The way they played was aggressive, and it was a lot of if I don't win the game, I'm going to win the fight type of mentality. You're a fan favorite for a reason. You fight, you play hard, you get the steals. You consider yourself, do you want to try to mimic some of that bad boy energy? Kind of, you and Najee used to do it all the time, and I used to love when y'all were coming in. So
yeah, shit. I got Joe here, so why not? He's one that started all that bad boy stuff over there. So, I would just be myself. I'm gonna continue being in, try to bring everybody along with me with that. But yeah, I'm gonna be. I ain't gonna say a bad boy, but I'm gonna be aggressive and be Jose, and try to.
Yeah, Jose, don't be a bad boy,
mess up
bro.
the game
That
as much as I
don't
can,
work
at
nowadays,
least with the
bro.
opponents.
Trey and her kind of mentioned how different
Right, bird talking. Fix that audio.
And they got voices for some of younger guys, are you starting to feel that way now?
I mean, yeah, it's cool, but I think this is a good feel, a mixture of both. We got actually these guys that's coming in. Obviously, the rookie class, they good. Like they gonna have it. They gonna be fried. They got guys like us to hold them down, but they gonna carry themselves very well too. So yeah, I mean, a vet here, I guess. Yeah.
Yes, Marley, he is gone forever.
Competitive. Y'all gonna love him. Y'all gonna love him. The city gonna love him. You talking about somebody that's gonna be out there competitive and not scaring nobody. That's him. I love him. I love little bro. He gonna be really good for the city. He gonna be really good for the program, and he got a bright future in front of him.
It's crazy when you think he's only, you realize he's only 18 years old.
Yeah, I know. I told him the other day. I was like, "How old are you?" And he just told me 18. I said, "Man, this is crazy." But it's crazy that he's 18. Obviously, his skill level is not 18. His mindset is not 18. It's like they growing. I'm not saying me, but I'm telling. But he's growing up fast. Like he grew up fast, and I like him. I like his game, and I like his competitiveness though. That's one thing I gonna really care like about him.
We've asked a lot of these young guys, what do they think about moving to New Orleans, their first time here? You've been here now. You've been here. You've been an ambassador for the city of New Orleans. You've always spoken highly of it. Now you've had time to reflect. Now I don't know what year this is. I can't keep track. But you've been here this whole time. Can you just talk about what New Orleans means to you? And because we have these young kids, what they think. And I mean, you know better than anybody. What is the city? What does it mean to you?
City love, man. New Orleans is about love and care and culture. If you fight for them, they're gonna fight back. And that's one thing I always say about New Orleans. And I always felt welcome when I came here, and still always this is home. I was born in New York, raised in New York, but New Orleans is my second home. I gotta say that because just off the strength of they embrace who I am as a person, and the city is beautiful in the sense of like the culture and everything. So, shout out to Nola, man. They're always showing love.
What's kind of the focus for you to kind of improve this year?
Me, keep my jump shot as much as I can. Make open shots. Be better mentally. Just diverse in the game, understanding the game well, and then also being a leader. When I'm saying, like I said, we got fears. He's next up. So I want to be as much as a hope for him to grow at his game and other guys, and watch me grow and watch myself grow as well, and just be a point guard. I hear a lot of noise. I hear all that nonsense. Well, we need a point guard. We need a point guard. So that's where I want to get to a point to have y'all can have your point guard eventually.
Past playoffs and finals, there's a lot of conversation about picking up guys full court and defending in the backcourt. Does it give you validation that the leagues emphasize the things that you already do or already bring to the table and do that?
Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful because that's something I've always been doing, and it's something that when you go to the playoffs, you recognize it more, right? Because that's the only thing this game's on. So that's what we gotta do. So when we get to the playoffs, or when we get there, it gets back to the same thing. But that's something the game is growing at, and I'm excited about it because it's just going in where I'm really good at.
Gonna be interesting, DC. Jay Fears, man, high draft choice. Definitely. Joe. I see her Freudian slipped out about to say Coach Dumars. But Joe Dumars obviously sees him as a contributor.
You mean Joe Green?
Willie Dumars. So you got this going on here. So the minutes are going to be an issue. So you have to ultimately work out the bench rotations and try to have some synergy and chemistry with the bench rotations like we have with the first team, second team, however it plays out. So Jose talks about it, man, and he said he heard the noise about the people needing a point guard. He kind of felt a little slighted. Let's dig in. Thoughts on Jose overall, bro?
I probably got a different take maybe than everybody. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But watching him, this interview, just for me, man, normally seeing Jose, I don't know. Everybody does have a serious tone on the team. I don't see a lot of smiling and joking other than maybe Zion. And to me, I don't know, man. I think Jose kind of know the writing on the wall. I felt similar about DeJounte in his interview as well.
Yeah, there's a little
Al-
attitude there.
yeah, although I think they kind of, they probably want to be here, both of those guys, but it's like, how? And you heard him talking about the point guard, and yeah, because I hear all the talk about people want a point guard, and I want to work on help make players better. Oh, and also myself, and I will eventually get there, and y'all will get that point guard eventually. Like, huh? You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like it's coded in there. He's not supposed to say it, obviously. Like, he can't come out and say, hey, they're gonna be shopping me while I'm playing good during the season, and I'm probably gonna get traded because Jeremiah Fair gotta get minutes. And we can't have a backcourt of two dudes, one 6'3" and the other one 5'11".
Six four,
I don't
DC. 6'4", they
6'4".
said he grew an inch.
Well, 6'4", 6'4", 5'11". And then you got Micah Peavy, who I hear good stuff about too, and he got to get minutes. And it's almost like you get to a point where you have a logjam between DeJounte and Jose. Like, at least one of them got to go. Or Jordan Hawkins, one or two of those players are probably going to be off the team.
Well, DeJounte Murray is making $30+ million a season.
So he
So
definitely
he got it's because if he's healthy, they're definitely going to put him in the starting lineup. They're going to set a guy on the bench making $30 million, man. And Murray's a hard sell, man. He's a tough guy to sell. You heard him in the snippet, and I'm pretty sure people heard it. He has the kind of show me type of mentality based on his first year. He was kind of pissed off how the Pelicans treated him in his rehab, this type of stuff. So he's a guy that ain't gonna sugarcoat it. So I respect his honesty and his toughness, but yeah, it is a log jam, DC. It sounds like a good problem to have, but we have to kind of figure it out. Lex, what you think?
I definitely understand where Alvarado's coming from, because that does have to be frustrating. And we've said it many a times on here, the team needs a point guard. But I think it's more than just needing a point guard. Like, Alvarado, he is a point guard. And just the way he said, you could kind of hear him being uncomfortable in his voice a little bit, putting us up on, what he's trying to say, but at the same time, not trying to say it, but trying to say it.
Like, he sees himself as that guy. Like, I'm the point guard y'all been looking for. And we like, what?
Is that if you look at his size, like, he's a nice player. He's a solid player, but he defensively is a liability.
Right.
Like, all you have to do is post him up. If you look at the point guards around the league, what do you see?
Big guys, man.
They're big. Yeah. They're 6'4", 6'5", 6'6".
6'4" is actually short.
Small.
Yeah,
short,
but I'm just saying, how tall is he? And
5'11".
Like as far as
the
NBA is about matchups. It's about matchups. And when you look at Jose, I mean, you can't even play Jose for how long would you say? What's a good time to play Jose? As far as minutes,
anywhere between 12 and probably 15 minutes a game.
He should not be playing 20, 25. He's not that type of point guard. You need a point guard that can play 20 plus minutes. You know what I'm saying? And 20 may be too low. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just not that type of player. Jose, if you think about it, look at all the things that Jose goes through. It seems like he has he has hiatus periods. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like you see him on the floor and then you don't see him for a while because his body's not holding up.
Right.
I mean, he's a little guy, and you're going up against the trees every single night. That's a lot. That's a lot, you know? Shoot. I mean, you really have to be like really, really unique to be able to handle that, like some Barry Sanders type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Going up against them lines, that dude was low to the ground. You hear me? Wasn't nobody touching him. Like, you got to be like that. You know what I'm saying? And then come out in interviews and somebody asking you, yo, Barry Dog, how'd you do it? Oh, shoot, I was scared. So I was running for my life. That's what he said.
That's what his style was.
and he was dead serious, and everybody was like this.
Oh my God.
Oh, Barry.
Running for us like scared mouse. Huh?
Jose ain't like that, man. Like like people were applauding him for being scared.
Right.
And he was doing
I think it was applauding that fact that he actually admitted it. You know, it's like, okay, I was like, he's afraid. Yeah, he was running, damn sure running.
That was
He was a hell of a scary runner, to be honest with you. If that was the case.
He didn't like to get in. He said he been like that since he was a child. He didn't like to get in.
You know what?
It worked. It worked.
His parents made him play football. Get out there and survive.
Shit, he made the most of it.
He was terrorized.
That's running back Will was he?
Oh my gosh.
That's
but y'all
terrible.
get what I'm saying? Like that's rarity right there, man. You and Jose, you know, he's nice. I love Jose's game. His energy is unmatched. Right. I love his energy. He doesn't back down. He has that dog mentality. I mean, I love it. And really it fits New Orleans.
It's gonna hurt losing them too, because like my man Cap Manning said, he should be serviceable. He's talking about TJ McConnell, and he's talking about the guy in Indiana. And I think Jose would go on to a contender, man, and he would help propel somebody in a playoff scenario, like in
like Josh Hart did with New York. Yeah, it could be a Josh Hart effect. Yeah,
and in limited minutes, man, Jose is very impactful. But Lexxah touched on it. He's a little guy. He can't stay healthy. You know, Willie. As long as Willie Green is the coach, he always gonna run him in the ground and play him.
Yeah, and that doesn't help either. When you have a coach who's not playing you correctly,
right,
or consistently. I mean, it's hard for you to gather rhythm if you have a role.
Jose minutes consistently, and remember we had this conversation, man. I actually was like, "Q, I like Jose, but I don't think Jose should be getting more minutes than Dyson Daniels." Remember how that shit turned out?
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, as much as I like Jose, we see where this goes. And we can't do the same thing with Fierce.
No, I don't think we will. I don't think Joe Dumars would allow that to happen, DC.
Get minutes as a rookie, man. They're not.
So is Queen. So is Queen is ready. Queen said about him. He said out of his own mouth in about a month's time he should be good to go. So we'll see. I think these guys and Joe Dumars
it's more realistic that Queen's his minutes come on later than Fierce because of the injury. I think he's almost like maybe a month and a half behind. Like, we're not gonna see real minutes from him probably until a month or two into the season.
Same timeline, same medical timelines as before.
Yeah, I mean, they're starting training.
I'm talking about in terms of all the extra. You need to be out for an extra game or two. This sort of things, the accelerated, not accelerated, but the over exaggerated reaching or the pushing of the times, the medical squad adding extra time on injured players.
They seem like they're doing the opposite of that now. I think more or less it's more about, you got to remember, he's a big guy. He's a big man. And big men traditionally, sometimes they bring them along slowly. You can even look at like Dwight Howard. You got to get them time to build up their body and all of that. We just seen the opposite of that with Yves Missi. But I think by him having that injury, I'm not sure we're gonna see a lot of minutes from him, earlier in the season.
Joe saying nothing wrong with his legs.
Nah, they want him to get in shape, because they felt like his conditioning is really what it is. Because if he get that conditioning together, man, and you put that dude on that second unit and you actually give him an opportunity, in a few games, he gonna show you some flashes. And at that point, it's gonna be kind of hard to dial that shit back. But he got to be ready when he get his opportunity. Because if he's not ready, then it's gonna spill over into an end of the season thing, and later next year.
On Queens.
If they give him, I think he's gonna be ready. But I'm just saying, if they give him an opportunity after he's not injured and he's not ready, then I think he could kind of get pushed to the bottom of the rotation. Because you got to think, you got Kevon Looney, and other than injury, he's gonna have to be in there. You got Yves Missi, right?
That you can move, man. You can play, but you can play Queen at 4 or 5.
I can't forget about Carlo.
Really though?
I'm just saying.
Queen is center. He is center.
I mean, you can, but
it makes me wonder if they will make that change, because he actually plays better at the 5. He plays more comfortable at the 5.
But we've heard Joe Dumars say
Carlo can be more of a 4.
I'm saying though, DC, that Joe Dumars, regardless of that, I'm saying you all these players are not. He might play better at the 5, but them guys ain't gonna. They ain't gonna tie with that singularity crap. These guys have to play multiple spots. So you see Queen at 4 and 5 in certain lineups. You're gonna see it. You might even see some shit with Queen out there with Eves.
Like saying, like, why would I take Jabari Ferris if I know he's the best at point guard?
But I get what you're saying. But
the coach isn't trying to maximize a player.
That's what I'm saying, though. I'm saying that Joe Dumars says but Joe Dumars is saying that you have to have versatilities with these players. They can't just be staying one position. That's why I'm saying 4 or 5, because the idea is
in his most comfortable position as a rookie.
I get that, but I understand that. But
as time goes on,
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Still, in all, is that Joe Dumars is making no secret about this. He said that those guys are going to contribute this year, both of those guys. So Queen and Fears. So there's going to be a role for him on the bench. Go ahead, Lex. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying, going along with what you were saying, you kind of have to, especially with the talk with the pick. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I mean, people like you, the Pelicans have something to prove right now, and this is really the same type of talk that people were saying as far as with DeJounte and trading him. And I was like, that ain't happening. That's not happening. You know why? Because Joe is trying to win.
So you don't think they're going to trade DeJounte?
No, not anytime soon. You have to have experience. Like there's more teams out here that have on paper that have more experience. Now, I'm not going to say they're more talented. You can give or take there. But if you're trying to win, are you going to fully trust the rookies to help you win? Or you're bringing back a guy, obviously off injury, but he still has experience. You just, and that kind of, when Joe made that trade to get Queen, that really solidified it. I feel like that solidified it because he's building for the future, but he's trying to win now. You gotta win now.
I mean, that's
you
how
have to win now.
Jim, that's
no question about that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I agree with that. I mean, that's the thing. He talked about the depth thing. Joe Dumars is very passionate and focused and centered exactly where he wants the team to go. He wants to be versatile. He wants the team to be able to utilize the depth that it's accruing. I mean, having Queen and having Fears, these guys are very talented players, but he also talks about the correlation of having them connected to veterans. We talk about Fears connected to Kevon Looney. Talk about Fears connected to Poole, or Queen connected to Looney, or even Eves, who's still a young player, collected to these veteran guys. Like you mentioned, DeJounte Murray also has a positive impact as far as the veterans concerned. But as Joe Dumars is looking, you obviously have to find a role for some of these players. Now, we mentioned Jordan Hawkins. I don't think we talked too much about Jordan Hawkins and his role being a former first-round draft pick in his third year here. At some point, he's a guy that Joe Dumars has to find a role for. And Joe, I'm telling you, man, this type of stuff that we've seen with the team, with the depth issues and all this kind of stuff, is very interesting because we got shooters, we have guys here. I don't think we're big deficient. I think Kayvon Looney is an undersized big, but he hustles his ass off. He gets offensive rebounds. He plays really smart defense. He's slick and smooth around the rim. He also passes very well for a big, and he has a great work ethic, and he's a champion. So it's like not too much that you could show a Looney that he hadn't seen since he went in Golden State. And then you have Poole, a 20-point scorer alone. All this within the gravity that is Zion Williamson. So, vision is really big. Like he talks about communication, but vision, knowing what to do with the pieces that you picked, that's a big part of it. So yeah, some guys gonna fall off. So I agree. If there was a list of somebody mentioned in terms of the trade talk who would be on that list, I would put DeJounte Murray on top of that list if they do move him. But outside of that, I get what you're saying, Lex, in terms of having these veterans. If you're making a playoff push, and I know goddamn playing, but a playoff push, you have enough weapons there. Go ahead, DC.
What would our starting lineup be if we keep DeJounte and don't trade him?
He had to be in the starting lineup.
Who you taking out?
You would be at guard. You'd probably be Poole and Murray. It'll probably be Poole and Murray there at the backcourt.
Herb on the bench?
You might have to, bro. Because you got to look at the money. We had these conversations over the many years. The guy's making like $30+ million a year. They're not going to bring him off the bench. Maybe at first if he's rusty or whatever, but eventually if DeJounte Murray's on his team, he's going to be a starter, bro. And it's in Poole. What is Poole making 32? He making $30 million too, isn't he? Well, I'm just saying they $30+ million players. Yeah. Zion's 30+, Poole is 30+, Murray's 30+. $30+ million players are starters. He's going to be starting somewhere in Murray and Poole. And you situate the rest how you see fit. Zion and Trey and whoever the fifth guy is going to be. Maybe it's Looney or Eves or whatever, however it goes. But indeed, the money talks, bullshit walks. So that's what I'm saying in the end. If Murray's on the team, you got to put him there. Nobody can put no guy on the bench making $30 million, bro. And if he is on the bench, he playing the 6-man role, he's going to get starter minutes anyway. So regardless of how it looks, he's going to still have a major impact in terms of the minutes.
Then we ultimately, if we're doing that, then we definitely have to trade Jose. And that's probably what's going to happen.
What Jose making, DC? 3-4 million? 6 million?
About what he making. You drafted a guy with the 7th.
I have a question.
You can afford Jose, though.
No, you drafted a guy with the 7th pick overall. And from what we're hearing, he's doing everything that he's supposed to do and some. And you have to create a runway for him to be able to get minutes.
Oh, he might be the first. I ain't gonna say he's the 6-man, DC, but he'll be probably the first point guard off the bench if that's indeed the case. But hey, don't we still? He'll be on there. He'll be further down in the lineup. But injuries do impact the team. You still want to keep good quality people on your team below that. He might not spend as many minutes as your boy because of the draft status.
Isn't Jose's contract up?
I think he got 1 year left on the deal.
So if you can trade him and get something for him instead of losing him at the end of the year, get nothing, are we re-signing Jose?
If at the right price, you could keep Jose at the right price. Jose is not expensive.
What about Jordan Hawkins then? We gotta get rid of stuff.
Yeah,
Jordan Hawkins is something else, bro.
Because I kind of feel
Hawkins
like Jordan Hawkins is more.
I don't want to trade Jose.
But he's more expendable than Jose is.
Hawkins the shooter, a shooter. I'm saying, how does Hawkins look? Maybe Hawkins from last year or the year before, but Hawkins the shooter. How does he look this year? And so far as in what Joe Dumars sees him as a vision. Is he a guy? Because he talked about Jordan Hawkins. He's another shooter on the team with Zion. The guy can light it up, but has he been developed correctly? I mean, just asking the question. I'm just asking where.
I don't feel like he has, and the consistency in his play has been horrible. Horrible. I mean, we've seen how broken his minutes have been, like within the course of a season. Now, obviously, that could change, but looking at the situation right now, it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be hard to find to get him some minutes because they're competing. The front court is competing, and that's even with DeJounte being down. Or excuse me, I said the front court, the back court. Sorry about that. It's going to be competitive. It's going to be very competitive because you have Fears, you have Peavy, Jordan Poole, Jose, Jordan Hawkins. That's a lot. And the thing is, you're talking about the 1 or 2 spot. And we all know that Jordan Hawkins is not a 1. He's a true 2. When you look at Jose can run an offense. We've seen him do that. And we've also seen Jose be a 2. Now, Jose, he's not getting to a 3, and neither is Hawkins. You see what I'm saying? Like, you got to start looking at that. It's like, okay, well, Hawkins, like, you're a shooter, and that's great, but it's all about what's helping you maximize to get you more playing time. And if you think about it in that perspective, you know, Jose is actually more valuable because he can play the 1 or the 2, whereas Hawkins can only play the 2. Now, I haven't seen his handles, but I don't know. How do y'all feel about Hawkins handling the rock at the 1? How do we feel about that? Like right now?
No, he can't do that. He can't run.
I feel like what you just heard coughing because he's gonna cough it up. Unless something improved that we don't know about, I don't see that.
I mean, he a spot up shooter, DC. Pretty much, that's pretty much what he is right now. I mean,
and at this point, he's probably our second, third best spot up shooter. You know,
Hawkins is more comfortable at the 2.
On team.
Yeah, I give you that. He definitely comfortable at the 2. He can't do the 3. Ain't strong enough for nothing else.
He played point guard in summer league, and we all saw how that turned out.
Yeah, summer league looked bad. The whole damn team looked bad.
But yeah, they did look bad. They did look bad, and he was not set up in a good position. But at the same time, even with that being said, he still didn't really look comfortable. Like he, you know, and I haven't seen any video footage of this year because I know that was a year ago, obviously. So I don't like to hang on. I like to give guys a chance because obviously you grow, you get better, and you have to have room. You have to calculate that in and all that stuff. But I haven't seen him, you know, work out or anything. So I'm just going based off of what I've seen. And what I've seen is that 1, he just does not look comfortable. It doesn't look natural. It doesn't look like
because he shouldn't be playing the 1. Like, has he ever played the 1? Like,
I don't remember.
I don't think he was doing that.
Not for long stretches. Not for long stretches. If he did play it,
he wasn't running no offense.
He actually looked better when they put him at the 3 opposed to the 1. You know what I'm saying? But
that's if they go on what, small ball, and we know how.
Yeah, we seen some weird lineups last year. Jordan Hawkins got opportunities last year, but I mean, he didn't turn into anything. But I also think he's the type of player, as we're talking about his handles and him not being able to be a 1. It's weird because in some capacity, he can kind of create a shot for himself, you know, but usually in tight spaces, he's not going to like break a guy down off the dribble, but he can get his shot off quick. So he can kind of create a shot for himself. But he would be best utilized with a point guard. So I don't know what that's been looking like with a Fears or a Poole or whoever else they have playing the point. Maybe Zion. You know, we would have to see that, I think, to get a true evaluation of him. And if he lights it up, do we trade him? If he looks like the guy that we were seeing early in his rookie year, do we trade Jordan Hawkins?
No, because he's a shoot. If he's shooting like that, you don't get rid of no shooter, and you got a guy with gravity like Zion. And who's the second guard off? Who's the backup two? Isn't it not Jordan Hawkins? Who's the backup two?
Yeah.
It's Jordan Hawkins.
Or you could say
Jordan
Sadiq not
Poole
really
should
until
be
he
No.
two more so than anything.
I mean, Herb, you can use Herb at three.
You got
Herb
Herb
at
as
three.
your two, but yeah, it would have to be Hawk. We don't know what Peavy is at this point yet.
I think Peavy at the bottom of the depth chart, bro.
Yeah.
Me too.
Peavy and
Makovic.
He would probably be a three,
Yeah,
but
Makovic and Peavy are at the bottom of your depth chart.
really depends on the matchup. So
And Makovic, man, it's so weird. Him
they
being at the
really need to
bottom.
change the.
I think he's got a skill set that this team needs. A rim running guy that can hit threes and block
I would
shots.
not mind him.
I
and
don't know if I'm gonna
Zion.
put him at the bottom of the roster, but we got a lot of depth in talent, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a good problem to have, to be honest with you. But like I said, I mean,
For
you got
somebody
a
who knows what they're doing.
well, just Joe Dumars, Lex. Joe Dumars, Coach Joe. Coach Joe gonna make it all right. He got a super duper puppet, and here known as Willie Green. And
I'm gonna be honest, man.
Joe Green, bro. Willie Dumars.
I'm concerned about how this lineup is gonna look because I really want the lineup to change.
What you want to change to, Lex?
I want it to be changed where Zion is not looked at as the 4.
He's not. I mean, they didn't look at him as the 4 last year anymore. I think that's going to continue.
He needs to be he needs to be handling that rock, man. He needs to be at the 3. That's when he's most dangerous. When again, and we saw this when Kelly Olynyk was at that 4. Oh my gosh. And they had that big lineup. Y'all saw that?
Mm-hmm.
And you have somebody like Jordan Poole. You know what I'm saying? You got Trey, you got Herb. Like, golly, man, that's if you're really trying to build around Zion, right? Because that's what Joe said. If you're really trying to do that, that's it. If you're trying to build around him. If you're not, they'll have him at the 4, which that's what I feel like they'll have it as,
Why you think they're gonna put him at the 4? And you seen them lose all of that weight. To me, Herb looks a little bigger. I mean, if he's in a start lineup, Herb might play at the 4.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that because really that'll make it a hard cover.
Because you said it yourself, Lex. You before a lot of people was talking about it. We talked about it, and you brought it live on the show. You talked about point Zion and Zion actually, going a step further and just saying him being at the point guard position, basically, or just being the hub of the offense, putting the ball in his hands. You could call it the 3. But I don't really think it matters because Jordan Poole could be listed as point guard, but you know what Jordan Poole gonna do? He gonna run around in a similar way that Steph Curry does when he doesn't have the ball as a shooting guard. You know what I'm saying? And he could be a secondary ball handler. So you got Trey that can play the 2 position or the 3. You got Herb that pretty much can play.
He could possibly play the 4. Has he gotten bigger?
He got a little bigger. Him and Herb, they both look like they put on.
Because with Trey's height, Trey has the ability to play multiple positions.
One of them got to rebound better. Him or Herb, they got to pick up.
You know what? Look, I know everybody's talking about Kayvon Looney as far as with the rebounding. But in all honesty, we've been saying it. It's a team effort to rebound. Like, it's not rebounding is not about height. It really isn't. And if you don't believe me, ask OKC when they had their bigs down. They were leading. If they weren't leading the league in rebounds, they were like top 3.
Yeah.
They were. When their bigs were down, they were rebounding the living snot out of that ball. That's effort. That's effort.
Yeah.
Like we can't just focus on, we need rebounding. We need some 7-footers. I'm like, man, it does us no good to have 7-footers and they can't rebound.
True.
And we've seen that. Look, the only time we didn't see it is when Jonas Valanciunas was here.
No. You had another one, Steven Adams as well.
Okay.
Two guys that can box out. You know what I'm saying? Two guys that, well, Steven Adams more so, get the little stuff, and you getting that. And
Steven Adams wasn't all that for us, dog.
No.
Steven Adams was not used properly.
We were leading the league in rebounding when we had Steven Adams. Is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about all the other aspects. Go look it up. We were number 1 in offensive rebounds, and I think we were probably
you was right, DC. You right.
Defensive rebound.
You right. I remember that.
You had Steven Adams.
Right.
You had Herb getting some rebounds, and you had Josh Hart. We missing.
Oh well,
somebody got to pick up that Josh Hart.
I mean, but look at who you named though, because it wasn't just Steven Adams. Man, Hart is a great rebounder.
Zion probably gonna snatch a few more too. I said last year that he would get what I say, he'd get 6 or 7 a game. Q, you remember that?
I remember that.
Season, he was right on pace to have about 7 rebounds a season. So Zion gonna I think step it up a little bit there. We need Herb and Trey to do that. We do that.
We need it from them.
Because
you know what I
will probably be our weakest link rebounding in the starting unit.
It seems like the smaller forwards or the guards are getting more rebounds than the big men.
Zion was 7 in the game last year.
7 a game. There we go.
7.2.
Yeah.
He matter of fact, let me see if he was the team. No, I think Eves was the dude. Eves had 8.2.
8.2.
8.2. Zion was 2nd. Murray was 3rd, and they had Mo Bamba here. He had I don't know, for a little time out they got his stats up here.
Played enough to count.
I don't know. They threw him up here for their statistics. Yeah, I'm gonna just bypass them. But anyway,
Trey had about 4, and Herb had about 4, right? I need 5 to 6.
Trey had 5.
And everybody needs to step up with the rebound.
Trey had 5. Herb had 4.
Can't rely on one person.
There's no way Herb should have 4 rebounds, man.
No, absolutely not.
What his game is, but I understand some of it though. We being a little hard on him because of what he does defensively. Herb is guarding the best player, and a lot of times he gonna be out on the perimeter. So of course he's not gonna get the rebound. You know what I mean? But still 4 rebounds though.
With all the threes, wait a minute. Whoa. With all the threes, With all the threes, okay, that are chucked up. Threes, if they're missed, a lot of times they're gonna come back out far.
That's
okay. That's physics, ain't it? Right?
Yeah.
When you shoot from that distance, a lot of times if it misses, it's gonna be a long rebound. No, he can get that. We ain't for real. I'm telling you. Okay,
he can get some of them, but man, I can't expect him to just be gobbling them up, and I'm asking him to guard the number 1 guy. That's all I'm saying. He definitely should have more than 4.
Luke could be averaging double digits in rebounds.
Luke ain't playing no defense.
If he playing like that, he should have at least 6 rebounds.
It don't matter. But because everybody's shooting threes or long shots, those rebound. I mean, and I've seen his games where it's like, man, he just catches the ball just coming down, just happens to be in the right spot. I'm like, golly, that and there's zero effort.
It's a
So you
six
telling me with effort, because you know Herb is going to give effort,
but
right?
yeah, but I think about it like this. I'm not giving him an excuse, but I do
Sound like
understand.
it to me, brother.
I don't expect Herb to ever be a 10 rebound guy.
No, he gonna be 10,
Let me
DC.
tell you why.
That's a little too much, bro.
If you guard the number one guy, I didn't have to run off of screens. I'm doing this, staying with him, doing all of this. I'm on him, and then the possession is ending, and I'm doing that all night. I'm not always gonna have that extra burst after I just use that to contain the number one guy. So
you know what?
That's what
OKC players,
effort and being in shape means, DC. That's what it
but I
means.
mean,
OKC
and I
players
expect,
did,
I
and they
expect
did it
them.
without their bigs.
I'm
You
trying to
saying
tell you.
OKC players? I'm just talking
I'm
about one particular.
I'm saying OKC players are NBA players, right?
How many
Yeah.
rebounds Caruso had?
That's not the point. What I'm saying
I'm
is,
just saying that would be a comparison.
no,
It's how
I
they
get
use Caruso,
I get you, but I'm saying, aren't the OKC players NBA players?
of course.
I'm
Okay,
just
so
saying
why can't we adapt to
they
the
were
rebound
all of them were
philosophy?
playing defense,
Huh?
right?
Yeah.
They were the best defensive team.
Yeah, that was the identity. They all flow to the
That's why I
ball. They
pointed
all,
them out.
yeah, that's right.
And
I'm just
here
saying,
you're
though,
talking about Herb.
last year, Caruso, which I know he ain't a starter typically, but he averaged 3 rebounds a game. You would think Alex Caruso would have more than 3 rebounds a game because we obviously know he's capable. You know what I'm saying? And I think the same thing with Herb, but we need him to get more rebounds. But all I'm saying is it's hard to be the the cleanup man on the rebounds and you guard the number one guy all night. But
That's why you know what?
definitely should come down with more.
Everybody's effort needs to be up there, because really, I don't want all the pressure to be on Herb defensively. Like, if you're talking about really being a top tier team or a playoff team, all 5 players, well, really the whole team, but all 5 players on that floor need to be playing defense. Everybody on that floor need to be a two-way player, because now you have, like, when you look at OKC is the best team in the league right now. They the defending champs, right?
That's
Every
correct.
single last one of them, they were two-way players. They locked down on defense. They were the best defensive team. And so it can't just be on Herb. He can't do all that. Like, we're past that point. These guys, there's more responsibility on each player to show up on both ends of the floor. That's why versatility has taken us, 4s and 5s. They're not looking for, just a 4 and a 5 to rebound. Dude, they want you to stretch the floor.
Yeah.
They want you. Miles Turner is shooting threes. Lopez, he's a 5 shooting threes. Like, you have to do more. That's what the trends of the game have always demanded. You have to do more. It's not just good enough to just, okay, all I do is rebound. Hey, man, listen, you heard Yves Missi be like, I need to focus on, defense, screens, finishing around the basket. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, he needs to master that.
Finishing around the basket is offense.
Mm-hmm.
And then defensively, you see what I'm saying? Like, both ends. It's not good enough to just be okay or great or solid on one end of the floor. If you're really trying to compete, hey man, everybody's gonna have to level up. Everybody needs to be a solid rebounder. Everybody needs to be a two-way player.
Yeah, it ain't exactly running plays for Yves Missi or none of these some of these guys underneath there, man. So they're gonna have to get their points on the cleanup side. I mean, you got to clean up that offensive glass for stick backs and dunks and all this kind of stuff. So if they understand that role, man, and I don't fault Missi for doing that, because that's the role they want him to focus on. If he can master that role, we'll build on other things as we go forward. But that's what it's called for. We need a guy that can help protect around the rim. We need a guy to clean up offensively, run the floor. He probably get a couple of some alleys there as well. It's just it's a part of the game, man. So I think a lot of people kind of looking at our big situation wrong. But we'll see how it looks, because all of these bigs have a purpose and used properly. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
What the role is going to be. Used properly. Figuring it all out is gonna be interesting.
One goal.
One goal is the trophy.
One goal.
One goal.
One goal. One
Joe's
mind,
talking.
one coach.
One goal. One
in one
coach.
hand. In one hand.
One coach.
One hand on coach.
He
Joe
needs
is
to be one and
Willie
out.
Willie Dumars. There you
But
go.
hey, I mean, if we think about everything that Joe's been talking about, it is time for this team to represent the city of New Orleans the correct way. Y'all gotta play, man. It's not gonna come easy. In order to get over that hump, everybody's gonna have to take it to another level. That's what it's gonna take. And that's something that we have not seen. We've seen spurts and a little bit of salt and pepper here and there and things, but the team's gonna have to elevate their game. So that means everybody's going to have to step up in their effort. Everybody's going to have to step up on getting the boards. Everybody's going to have to step up on defense, offense, finish around the basket, finish those bunnies, knock down open shots because you're going to get them. How many times do we see that? It's like we got to level up. It's time for this organization to get the respect, man. And the only way you can get that is what Joe's been talking about. That's why, that action part is so important, because we've been saying it for years. We've been talking about this stuff for years. But, we ready for the action.
I think we're getting it this year, Lex. We got a guy on top of the organization that's been talking like we've been talking. Get all that old soft stuff up out of here. That old mindfulness and all that silly rhetoric, man. That kind of they wouldn't even put that kind of bullshit up on the walls for the Girl Scouts, man. Get out of here with that. Got grown men up there like that, and it showed in the play. So
Who put up ultimately? Who put that up?
Mindfulness. Who even? I didn't even consider that to go up on the wall of no professional basketball
You
team.
must show your opponents compassion.
That's the
Tramal is funny. Look,
what?
All I need is one mic. All we need is one goal. You know what I'm saying?
Troy Weaver don't get a mic.
Oh man. Anyway, let's get ready to roll up out of here.
Saying, what Troy Weaver at? Wait a minute.
Troy Weaver don't care, bro. He don't need to talk. He don't need to get up there.
Bryson Graham and
He the new GM unofficially, but I think he's the new GM. But before we get out of here, man, we're gonna have to head on out. But I just want to play a favorite song by DC. DC, here you go, brother. Here goes DC.
Vader with his helmet rocking dreadlock vibes, breathing like a baseline, keep the tribe alive. Papa Dean's chill, but his life
take your headphones off.
Lando selling ganja in Cloud City. The wars in a galaxy apart, grooving on the rhythm of a reggae star. Chewie plays the bongos and strums guitar. R2 and 3PO be dancing bizarre.
Hey. Hey, come on, man. Do your thing, man.
Boba Fett's with them got the bass line deep.
I came in on
Through
the
the
right
cosmos where the vibes don't sleep. Jabba's eating space fruit with a lazy grin, while the Ewoks chant, let the Rasta begin. Yoda says, feel it flow through your man. Luke's got the force, but he's laid back strong.
My man Knox Villain called it Smoke Wars.
Oh man, people create some crazy shit online, man. This is crazy.
Too much time on their hands.
It's too much time on their head. I said DC
Y'all
this.
know they got an AI thing now where people can FaceTime call you and look like a totally different person.
What?
Yeah, man.
What they been having that?
DC got
That's on
scammed.
Facebook, or
No,
not
I'm not
Facebook,
talking
that's on,
about. I'm not talking
Instagram.
about a filter. Like it could be
DC got scammed.
a man or a woman that could look totally like the opposite. Like not way deeper than the filter. A whole other AI person.
What? No, what are you talking about, man?
There's a name for that.
I'm out, man. Strip.
You can have a man or a woman.
It goes in
Let's
front
say
of
a man
Somebody
called you.
scam DC, y'all.
No, I was just looking at the AI stuff. You sent me what you sent me?
There's actually a name for that.
DC was talking to a man. He thought it was a woman. That's what you're trying to tell me.
Talking to nobody. Tell me what that's called.
What are you talking about, man?
Outside.
Tell him what that's called.
What?
He was catfish. DC got catfished.
Oh my gosh. Lord help him.
Oh, DC, like I gotta switch the subject, bro. I gotta save you, know.
Y'all let's see what I'm talking about.
DC, I gotta switch the energy, bro. I gotta get the heat off. Here you go, DC.
Donations, gifts, more gifts.
I mean, what's he doing? Phonics or something?
Oh man, okay. More gifts. All right, yo. We go DC. DC, we're gonna leave it right there. Okay, brother, it's getting late. We're gonna leave it right there.
Such aggressive panhandling in my life.
Aggressive panhandling, right? All right, we're gonna leave it right there, y'all.
So he don't get deceived.
We're gonna leave it right there, ladies and gentlemen.
We gotta pray for him, Big Q, so he doesn't get deceived.
DC, stay off the phone, brother. Just leave it alone. All right, so with that being
Like you got a damn on out there.
DC, stay off the phone. DC, stay off the phone. DC, leave the technology.
The technology, I can't do the show.
Okay.
We need donations.
But you won't receive.
Donations.
More donations.
All right, we out, man. We're gonna holler at y'all on the next one. We appreciate y'all. Do us a service, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Feel free to share the show on your social media feed. We're gonna holler at you on the next one later on, man. It's Pelican time, man. Pelican season is here, man. We're gonna have more elevated shows. We're gonna cover it more. PPR back in effect. It's Pels season, man. DC is in rare form tonight. So anyway, we're gonna holler at you on the next one. Much love and Go Pels.
You're listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican, ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best, show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's something, don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late, bunch of train. Post game, Big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the ref just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever, Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds Birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly, die. I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever.
The WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who Dat and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who Dat in all of us.
You ain't want to hear what I got to say.
That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shop